let's say you were 2 years into your relationship and you had to assemble your own flowers.
I don't know. I'm just not that kind of person.
Alex is
It's an
happy she
impossible
gets a gift
question
at
to
all.
answer.
Yeah, I am
That's
not
an
a
impossible question. I don't know why I asked it.
I'm like, you can't ask me that because I generally don't like receiving. I like giving.
Are there...
Shut the fuck up, Brett.
Oh, boy.
Mic drop.
See you later.
Bye.
$1 million, but when you climax,
Oh, God.
Whoa.
I can't believe we're taking it to this level.
you barf in your mouth.
Yeah, I probably would.
I probably
All right,
would.
ladies, be warned. Brett may puke on you.
He's not getting this offer right now. This is a scenario.
No, this is based on things that will never happen, right?
All right,
Or-
let's do it right now.
What?
Let's use this scenario.
Go ahead.
Let's do it right
So Alex and I
now.
watched Black Mirror. It
We
came
binged
out.
it.
Came
You
out
don't
last
binge
week.
it.
Do you not consider 3 hours binging?
No, I said on the precast, I'm saying it now, to be binge-worthy, I think has to be at least 5. Binging is not about length of time, I think. It's about number of individual things.
I think it's about a season,
How many episodes is binge watching?
Well,
According
we
to
just asked him.
according to Google.
a survey conducted by Netflix in February 2014. They need
That's
to redo
5
this.
years ago.
They need to redo
Yeah.
this.
Before
Nope.
binging really
This
took
is,
off.
yeah. So 73% of people define binge watching as watching between 2 to 6 episodes. 2?
2? No.
No.
No. Okay. I think.
This just rendered itself irrelevant.
It did. That was a very dumb.
Throw your phone.
That was very subtle. Throw your phone.
I just got a Charlie horse in my thigh.
Oh, shoot. You okay?
You're gonna fart or
Do
something.
you need something?
Hey, where's your Charlie
Just give me
horse?
time. It's on the bottom of this thigh.
Hey, you can do this. Put your foot out. Put your
I
foot
can't.
Out. Do it.
No!
Oh, shoot.
Ah! Put it out. Now flex your foot up like your toes towards the ceiling. It looks like you're trying to take a shit.
What do you need to
Well, I
do?
don't want it to look like
What do you want to do?
I'm trying to put my foot over there.
Give me your
Help me. My back's to the camera.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're okay.
It's
You're okay.
ridiculous.
You're okay. You're
Let's do some
I'm doing some friggin' Christmas trivia. So when I read it, I was like, I love Jim Carrey from 20 years ago, but the world does not need a Mask 2.
No, it doesn't.
What?
Yeah.
That came out. Was that today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Jim Carrey.
WB wants to make a Mask 2 with
no.
Jim Carrey.
No.
And he's open for it.
No. Even
Yeah.
worse.
Well,
Even
he's,
worse.
you know, what did he just do? He just did Sonic. He just did Sonic.
And he might be okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, we'll see.
I'm interested.
Welcome back to the PTO Unlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 196 on a special Saturday. We don't record Saturday, but we do today
/ Monday.
because we
Yes.
have a guest. That's 2 weeks in a row with something special.
Yeah.
First timers. The first time we've ever had a podcaster on our show. Justin from Juice in the Morning podcast. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are one of my favorite podcasts. You guys have come on Juice in the Morning. PTO Unlimited is one of my rotation because I've talked about it before on my podcast. I have about 3 to 4 that I can keep up with and listen to every single episode each week. And, you guys are one of those in the rotation.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we not
I like
every.
that.
The thing is that I've always like recognized about our show is you can't hit every single one out at the park. I mean, not every single one.
there's
Yeah, the first really bad podcast, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
I
It
think
almost
there
got you
was-
down.
There was one time because I think the most common question is like, do you guys ever don't have enough to talk about, or you can't figure out something to talk about. I can remember one time, the first 6 months.
One time we were searching.
We were pulling out old posters that we wrote on for just memories and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what to talk about today. And then after that episode, that's been it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
Times when we had to actually search for stuff. So, yeah.
Josh, you had a quick opener, yes?
You want to go right to it?
Yeah.
Okay. So today is actually, on this day in history, the patent for the world's first video game system was filed. Can you guess the year? This is going to kind of blow your guys'
78.
mind.
69.
Way earlier.
I would say
45.
1952.
Nuh-uh.
If it was The Price is Right, Alex would win because she undercut. 47.
47?
crazy.
1947. Yes, it's called the cathode ray tube amusement device. I think I'm actually going to try to pull this up here on our YouTube here. It's
The
a
cathode what?
cathode ray tube amusement device.
Amusement device.
So,
That sounds dumb.
just the patent doesn't necessarily mean that it was built yet, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
But they were actually they had the idea at
Right.
least.
And the technology.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's
What?
it. Yeah.
Woohoo!
So,
Oh my god.
Can you believe like how mind blowing that was for
Oh
the people
my
probably
God.
like putting it together?
Yes.
Yep. So I'm
Alright,
gonna show
are you
this on our
gonna put that
YouTube.
on?
Yeah.
There
Look
you
at that.
go.
Like it's huge. It looked like just like a radar scope. Is all it really was.
It looks fake.
It doesn't it though?
It looks like a prop.
It definitely looks like it would be something that would give you cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Yes.
it simulates an artillery shell arcing towards targets on screen. It's controlled by the player by adjusting knobs. What? I don't understand the knob thing. That was in a lot of video games for a long period of time, actually, where it was just two
well,
knobs.
Pong was just a knob.
Yeah. It's so weird that it was just that.
Weird.
It was never manufactured or marketed towards the public, but yeah, it was. Video games have been around for almost 75 years, guys. That's
And that-
crazy.
The thought.
That's a long time, but then it also feels like on the grand scheme of things, that's not that long.
Right, because it was
I
only
don't know what
a
you're
big
talking about. That's a long time ago.
75. I don't know. I mean,
That's a long time
it wasn't
ago.
really marketed to the public for a very long time. I mean, the 60s it was when you were putting like these little mats on your TV
What?
that were like these see-through window screens. Yeah, and you had like a little blip, and it looked like you were playing a game, but it was all the same thing. It was pretty much seriously. I'm not joking.
It's the very beginning of the DVD menu screen where it's like getting to the corner.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Yes,
like, do,
yes.
do, do, do. I remember
my
that Office
God.
episode.
was
I
just
forgot
thinking
about that.
The Office.
So I had a question for all of us that we can kind of just go into a little bit. What are 3 of your top favorite retro video games?
Well, what defines a retro?
Gen 5 on down. So 64 PlayStation on down. Not the first
Why
Xbox.
don't you read off those
Okay,
things
so-
that you texted Juice? And I was
Okay.
like, what the hell is this
So
Philips
Nintendo.
thing?
Okay, so Nintendo NES, SNES, the 64, the Sega Master, the Genesis, and the Saturn, the Sony PlayStation, the Philips CDI, and any Atari system.
Okay, really. Out of all of those, what is a Philips CDI?
That was
Can you
Philips.
pull that up?
I'm sure you don't have a game for it though. You know.
I know, but I want to know what it is.
Oh, Philips CDI.
A Philips CDI.
You know what they had? They had the Legend of Zelda on it. It was kind of crazy.
Then why don't I know what a Philips CDI is?
Because no one wants to talk about it.
Is
Seriously.
that seriously it?
Yeah.
It
That
looked
looks
like
like-
a VCR.
Yes,
With a
it looks like a VCR with a remote control.
This is actually a really good one right here. So I'm gonna show this on our
it
screen.
even has a disc.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I thought you were thinking this was like
Oh god, that's really
in the
small.
80s.
No, this is the 90s, like the late 90s.
I don't.
Our friend Jer had one.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Oh god, I lost my mouse. God,
I've never even heard of that.
You never heard of the CDI?
And I was like, when I was younger, I was real big into games, but never heard of that thing.
It's really interesting. And Philips was really trying, they were really trying to get into the market. That's what it looks like right there on our YouTube. So yeah, I'll have to show you some of those videos after the show. It's very interesting.
So Jer was the one that asked for the 64, got the Philips.
pretty much.
Thanks, Mom.
Now I want to see a commercial for that.
Oh yes.
Oh, Philips CDI.
Phil-
I'm gonna look
CDI.
that up as soon as we're done.
Yes, I'm gonna have to show you guys that.
Okay, so anyways, the question is, what's our favorite what?
Your top 3 favorite retro video games. We never really went over our favorites, really.
I'm sure we have at some point.
Did
Well,
we?
we've just
And
named off video games.
And
but-
some are, our favorite old games, but I've got some.
Now, Brent, I didn't give this information to you because I know you can
didn't.
think on the fly.
I can.
You can think so on the fly. So we can just go around the table with our top three. Just start
If I
saying
had to
them.
pick 3 offhand, it would probably be Star Wars Rogue Squadron,
Ooh.
GoldenEye 007, which I know doesn't hold up, but
No, it
No.
doesn't.
when I was, 14 or
14.
13 or 14,
Was it really that? Oh,
it
yeah.
was
yeah.
it was amazing. And
Mm.
then I'd probably go with Super Mario World.
Ooh, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Super classic. What do you got, Juice?
Like I said, I'm agreeing with you guys. I think it's tough. When you sent that question, I was driving down here thinking about all the games that I played, and so I kind of went. And I picked 3, and then I also wanted to throw out some honorable mentions.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the number one, I think, game that I still to this day play, my wife and I Jen will just like out of the blue say, "Hey, do you want to go play Super Mario World?"
No way.
Because we have it upstairs, and we'll just like it'll be a random like Saturday, and she's like, "Hey,
Wait,
let's just play
played on what?
on my big
the-
screen TV
No.
Like on the
on
SNES?
Super Nintendo."
Yeah.
The
Oh,
original?
That's cool.
I didn't even know you
Well,
had that.
we actually bought a thing from Amazon that plays the cartridges.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
emulator.
An
Yeah,
emulator.
it's not actually a Super
Nintendo.
Nintendo, but it
I know how
works.
that works. Yeah.
So it's really funny though because it's super cheap and crappy. So if like my dog just bumps our controller, the screen will freeze up and it won't work.
Oh,
so
but you can't like blow into the card.
No, but that's one of the games I spent probably the most time playing as a kid, and then it was awesome when we got older and you got internet on your phones, because then I looked up all the like tricks to like open up the whole like to finally completely beat the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one of my that's my number one. GoldenEye, I agree with you. That was like there was so many hours spent just playing with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
And then one that I'm not sure if you guys ever played, but WrestleMania 2000.
Yes.
I was actually
The
gonna
black cartridge.
I'll
Yes.
throw that as an honorable mention.
That
too.
is one of my favorites.
I think it's probably better than No Mercy.
It was the first one that was
Yep.
like the WWF guys.
Yep.
made by the same people that made the
Revenge.
WCW
Yep.
games. Yeah, and
Mhm.
Revenge was
T-
my
it was
favorite for
THQ.
WCW. Yeah, THQ, but it was like Jax
You guys
or
and your
something.
button
Yeah,
mashing like
THQ was the
wrestling
publisher.
games.
Oh, they
Well-
had combinations,
Well,
actually.
that's what was
The
cool about that one
combo.
was
It was
it was
grapple.
not button mashing. It was like you grapple and then you do
a
different
move,
like button
yeah.
combinations.
A was
to
grapple,
do-
B was
Button
melee.
combinations. Button mash.
Yeah, there was like a little bit of like to get out of holds and stuff. I
There
think
was
you
a
had
counter
to like
button.
yeah.
And you could,
Z. No, it
you
wasn't
could-
Z. Z was too. You had to hold it, like a.
it was right bumper. I remember.
Yeah.
You could counter if you countered like a strike at the right time. You
Oh.
block it and hit them back.
Yeah, it was strike was right bumper, melee or
Maybe
the
block
grapple
was-
was left bumper.
My favorite
Maybe.
part though
Yeah.
about that was The Rock was my favorite professional wrestler. So
Yeah.
like that was the first one that I was actually able to play as him, because on all the old WCW games I would like create the character
Me too.
and make him The Rock.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Did you ever make factions?
No, I don't know. Maybe I did.
I was
don't
really
know.
into that.
I just
I
remember
gotta take
playing
a
through
phone
it.
call real quick. It's work.
Oh,
okay.
okay. So Brett's gonna walk away from the
But
show.
I'll give you.
That's okay.
While he's doing that, I'll give you the honorable mentions I had, which is all the versions of Madden. I couldn't just like pick
You
out a
liked
specific
Madden
year.
back then, like
I
okay.
played that on Super Nintendo. I even played that on regular Nintendo. I think I can't remember if they had it on regular Nintendo. They had
like a top down
yeah.
looking one. I know they had like a Sports Illustrated one. I
And
remember that
then
one.
NFL Blitz. I'm
Ooh.
going through all these like sports ones. So Madden, NFL Blitz, and then there was an NHL game on Super Nintendo that I loved playing as a little kid.
It's one of the Gretzky's, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I played
Oh
one
my
of those.
God,
like,
you guys know all this stuff. Like, I don't remember that at all.
And,
Yeah.
Then Double Dragon on Super Nintendo was really fun. It was just a side-scrolling like
Whoa,
game
geez.
where you fight people.
yeah. Wasn't that where you wound up fighting each other at the end?
I don't remember. I don't think I ever made it to the
Or
end
was that
because I
River
wasn't
City
that good.
Ransom?
But then I threw in Smash Brothers and then Star Fox, and then I put at the end of this. I could go on forever because
Yeah.
there's all kinds of games.
Absolutely.
that were
It's really hard
played
to
when I
pick
was a
a
kid.
top.
Well, I agree, except for me, it's hard to go backwards and play old stuff because I'm so used to games how they are now.
Side scrollers are
It depends
easier
on the
though.
game.
Could be.
Like Super Nintendo games that are like Super Mario World, you can go back.
Well,
to
you
that.
know, GoldenEye is almost unplayable.
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me,
Oh.
to me it is.
Juice, I beat Super Mario World in one sitting on my Twitch stream.
Oh my
I
god.
He didn't
said
think I would do it.
I didn't think he'd be able to because I always remembered it as being larger, but it's just not that much.
I think I only died like maybe 10 times too.
Yeah.
To get from start to finish, maybe it's less time, but if you're doing all of the routes and
No,
stuff
he did
that-
like.
I did everything.
You did everything?
Everything but special.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I even did Star Road.
How many
so,
hours did it take you?
like 3 something.
Wow.
A speedrunner
That's
can beat it.
impressive.
A speedrunner can beat it so much faster. But then again, a speedrun you would go through all the secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Did you have yours, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got?
Not in any specific order. I really enjoyed on the Super Nintendo. I like Dr. Mario.
Okay.
Mario Paint.
Oh.
I know that's
yeah.
like-
Really.
Well, just because there was a game on there. I don't know if you guys ever played it, but
The
it was
fly
like
swatter?
the fly swatter game. Yes.
I did love that.
Yes, the fly swatter game.
Yeah.
Does this include computer games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, I really like Asteroid.
Oh, that was
That's
fun.
not just a computer.
I know,
game.
but that's what I played it on.
Wow.
I got to play that in school. I
Really?
remember that. Yeah,
Like
but
on one of the-
somehow, yeah.
It was
I don't
probably
know.
like one of those type and learn things.
Right.
The other one that beats that one is Centipede.
You are going really retro.
I loved playing those. They're on my grandma's
my
computer.
gosh.
I love Centipede. And I like. Oh my gosh.
Didn't
what
you
the
like
heck?
Dig Dug?
No.
No.
No, I did not like Dig
Excuse
Dug.
me. Wow. I
Jeez.
mentioned one retro
No,
game.
I like playing Pac-Man on the actual arcade. Like that's the only way you can play Pac-Man is
Okay.
on like the buttons and the thingy.
Okay.
What was the other one? Donkey Kong 64, just because that was like my first
yeah, that
real
was fun.
big
That is,
one.
you know how bad that game is, though.
No, it's still amazing.
It's a collectathon.
Yeah,
Jen
but
still plays it.
it's
She loves
Really?
it. Yeah.
You just go somewhere, collect this, go back, go somewhere with
Yep.
someone else, collect this, go back. It's all it is. It's a collectathon.
Yep. She loves
I
it.
don't mind collectathon stuff.
I think that's a lot of what it.
But Donkey
kinda
Kong
was.
wasn't meant to be that way.
Maybe not.
Oh,
but
whatever. You still fought bosses and stuff. It was fine.
Um,
Just screw the water levels with the 64 controller.
Oh, yeah.
Water levels in general.
Yeah, water levels in general. The other one that I had on there was not Donkey. Or it was Donkey Kong. Oh,
Man.
Zombies Ate My Neighbor.
You? I don't. Why aren't you saying these? I can get these games. You can stream them.
I don't know how good they're gonna be now.
I've never heard of that game.
Zombies
Ate
Ate My
My
Neighbor?
Nobody
It's on
knew
the Super
except,
Nintendo.
except your
I've
brother.
never heard of that.
Your
Yeah.
brother pulled it up for me with his thing-
emulator.
Emulator,
Just
and
like
I was
what
like,
you got.
"Oh my god, I can't believe this!" But you went around killing. I bet you if we showed you the game, you probably remember it.
It's kind
I
of.
don't know.
Is it like Plants vs Zombies or no? No.
It kind of looks like it, but,
but it's like Fester's Quest.
whatever that is.
Oh, you don't know Fester's Quest?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Gosh, I think that was
Okay.
It was kind of my sister put on there. He said Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
That's an obvious
That's
one.
gonna
The
be a classic,
original
yes.
like 64
Oh, yeah.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah. I got a couple from the Super Nintendo. Of course, Donkey Kong Country 2. That's one of my favorites. That's like I think that's the one I go back to almost every year. Every year I have to play that game. It's great. I have it on the Wii, and my Wii is dying. The disc tray doesn't work anymore, so it's just a retro console now.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's considered retro.
Why?
Because it's just.
We're looking right at it. It's sitting right
I know
there.
it's or
I
not
remember
orange,
when the
it's
Wii
yellow.
came out, we lost our minds.
Dude.
And then we figured out how you could just play sitting in your chair instead of
Yeah.
standing up.
Like bowling.
Yes. These two worked at Walmart in electronics when it came out. And I was
Yes.
just saying the other day, I was like, so what was that like? Let me guess. It was like, what you guys had a thing.
We had a system where it said, "Hi, welcome to or thank you for calling Walmart Electronics. We're out of Nintendo Wii's. How may I help you?" And they would automatically
Like
hang up.
legit.
Hang up. We would get mini hang-ups
Oh,
when we would say
wow.
that. Another game, of course, is Donkey. And I'm gonna say Donkey Kong Country 3. Those two are really good. I don't like the first one. And Mario Kart 64.
Oh,
yeah,
I
that
forgot
was
about
fun.
64.
I would spend
Yeah.
forever on that.
Yeah.
And everything else that you guys have listed for the most part, except for Alex's retro stuff. What are you even thinking?
Those are like the games I remember playing on the computer.
Hey, that's fine.
We've got some
Snake
comments.
on the Nokia.
What?
On the
Snake on the
Oh
Nokia.
yeah, the Nokia. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
considered retro.
I did happen to think of Tetris.
Tetris
Yeah,
is a classic.
Tetris.
I have.
Yeah.
I'll buy that. I bought that on the Switch actually, and they had it for free.
Yeah.
But I have it on the Switch. Oh, feel free to pop that open. It's fine. We're not too worried about background noise.
We've got some YouTube comments.
Okay.
Paige says, cannot go wrong with some classic Tetris. Also love Super Mario Brothers, Mario Kart 64, Donkey Kong 64. Really, any game on the 64 is awesome.
No. Let's have her play Superman.
I forgot
64.
about.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
forgot
that
about
was
that.
so
Game.
bad.
The
remember
Star Wars
that.
So
one,
bad.
pod racing.
Yeah, that was 64.
Yeah, I know. What is it called?
Star Wars.
Episode 1, Pod Racer.
Okay, that's what I like. That was on my list too. Pokemon Snap. I forgot to mention that one. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, get this. I bought Pokemon Snap for Alex when it came out on the Wii on the shop channel. She beat it in one day.
It's super easy. Not even
was
a day.
$10.
It's
It was
super
$10.
easy to do. I
Beat
knew
it in
all
one
of.
day.
I knew all of the
I
secrets.
think it wasn't more than 10.
Any Pokemon
Right.
games on the Game Boy. Oh crap! I forgot about that.
Oh,
Pokemon
yeah, I
Yellow
put a
and
lot
Red.
of time into that.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I felt like a hacker because
Those
I
are
got one of those
definitely-
like Game Shark things that
Oh,
I
did
plugged it
you?
in and cheated and got all the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, you guys remember Game Shark. What was the
Yeah.
one that they had before that? It was before Game Shark. It was
Game Genie. Yep.
Yes, yep.
Like,
And you
oh,
had
the Game
book.
Genie.
You had to buy the book for every single year
Yep.
or whatever. Or, yeah, and you get all those codes. And how'd they even get that? Like, how does that even...
I don't know.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's,
Now you Google
it's
it.
so different.
Yeah, the same way probably that people make those walkthroughs that they're just people that are really into something and they're like, hey, how can we hack into this?
There's a game that I would love to recommend to anybody who's into like side-scrolling platforming, and that's Fez. That's a game that came out on the 360. That was one of my favorites. I was gonna go somewhere with that. I don't remember what it was.
Fez.
No.
I also like Battletoads.
No,
Sorry,
you
I can't-
don't.
Yes.
No, you don't.
I did.
Oh
I
my
played
gosh.
it on the Game Boy forever.
Dude, were you one of those guys that trolled GameStop and asked if they had Battletoads in stock?
No, I
Do you know
didn't.
about that?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's an actual troll thing.
Oh, really?
People would actually do that. It was because Battletoads was only available on the SNES or
Yeah.
the Genesis or whatever, and the people would call into GameStop, and it was it's a troll thing that people would do.
That's hilarious.
It was all over the internet. So it's like nowadays you can say yes because they re-retroed it into the pack.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. So
yeah.
you can't do
It's
it
in
now.
that
You
rare,
can't.
It's in that rare replay.
Yep. So, wow, we went off.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
That's the
that's
podcast.
awesome. That's what happens on a podcast.
I'm big into video games.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Or
and
at
that's-
least at that time period. I don't get to play as much now that I'm older, but the old, like, the 90s dude played a lot of
that
games.
was like prime video game.
And I guess even 2000s too, because once PlayStation 2 came out, it was all about college football, Madden, like playing with my friends,
Speaking of-
creating dynasty teams. Oh my gosh,
Crash
we were
Bandicoot.
nerds.
I'm glad we're bringing this up. Did you guys hear that the PlayStation 4 just toppled the PlayStation and the Nintendo
Oh,
Wii in
I was gonna
sales?
put this in.
Finally.
Did you forget?
Yeah.
Okay, well at least I have
Well,
a photo
I
here.
think because what I saw did not reveal a source,
Okay.
and I didn't feel like
It's from IGN.
researching it. Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's the
where are they
source.
getting their numbers?
Okay, so here's this is by units sold. So the Xbox One is sitting at 41 million.
That's
Oh,
what
God,
really
that's
That
surprised
blows
me.
my mind.
It's
Wow.
the difference between it's 2-1 basically.
Yeah,
the
it is.
PlayStation 4 to Xbox One.
It's almost 3 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off the next ones. Switch 42 million. So it's just above the Xbox
Are you
One.
serious? I
It's
would have thought that
barely
was
selling.
like way up
Wouldn't
there.
you think so? The SNES.
The reason why is because the Switch came out a couple years after
After the-
PlayStation
the-
4.
Still has
that
plenty of
and
time
the
to catch
Wii
up.
U was like people that were still playing the Wii U.
Ugh,
No.
God,
Which-
the Wii U.
well,
Oh my god.
Million in the 90s. That's kind of crazy. The 3DS. I'm not going to go off over all of these, but the 3DS sold 75 million. The Xbox 360 sold 85 million. The PS3 sold 88 million. I didn't know that the PS3 outsold the Xbox 360. I thought that the 360 did pretty good. The Wii had 102 million. The first PlayStation 103 million. PS4 106 million. The top 3 is the Game Boy.
106, jeez.
Yeah, right?
Wait
Isn't
till
that
you hear
crazy?
PlayStation 2.
Oh, I'm gonna go off. These are the top 3: Game Boy / Game Boy Color. I'm surprised that they can wrap this in
Yep.
together.
Yeah.
That's 119 million.
Everybody had a Game Boy.
Yep. The Nintendo DS is sitting at number 2 at 154 million.
Wow.
And the PS2 159 million.
I mean, that makes sense because literally all of my friends
Everybody
had
had
a
a
PlayStation
PS2.
2.
I even did, and I don't play PlayStation.
Those are some
I can't
interesting
believe
numbers.
my parents did.
And that's from 2020. So
Wow.
that is the most updated. And we're taking a census with actually nationwide, so we're gonna actually know a lot of about our own nation in general too. But that's this year as well. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Oh no,
The census is this year.
I'm glad that you know that.
I'm on Twitter every day.
Oh, and plagues are coming back into fashion.
yeah! Oh
so.
my god, dude, the coronavirus. I'm really scared about that. Apparently,
Yeah,
it's
but
all
we
over
had
the place.
like what was the one like a few years ago that was like someone was,
Swine flu was pretty bad.
I know, I got it.
SARS.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
What
Ebola.
was around? Ebola.
Ebola was
Ebola,
around. Did you know
that was
Ebola
the
was around
one.
twice? I had no idea it
Yep.
was around last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was apparently. There was an
Well,
outbreak.
they probably, after that huge outbreak, probably learned a little bit more how to kind of contain it.
Yeah, it's kind of. I find a little kind of a conspiracy there with the coronavirus, because of Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, and Jacob Serber from from the
Thunderwolves.
Thunderwolf
Yes,
podcast.
I'm following him on Facebook.
I loved his quote was I just caught the Yingling virus. It's from Pennsylvania. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
It's a Kung Flu.
Wow. Wow.
All right, let's move on from that, guys. Brett, what do you're gonna drive it today? So we got a lot to get to.
Juice, you want to take a couple minutes just to explain what you do and
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Josh has
Tell us-
interview questions.
I do have
for
some
you.
interview questions as well
started
too.
or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So Juice, you've been doing podcasting for 4 years.
Yeah, it's like 4 going on 5.
Yeah.
I would say taking it seriously, probably 3.
Now, you've kind of fallen off the wagon of podcasting lately due to your comedy,
Yeah.
stand-up comedy, and I've been seeing those all over your Facebook. We've been loving to see if you would do a show around Fort Wayne.
Well, that's
Definitely.
I'm trying to. There's
Are
a guy
you?
named Alex Eakin that is a stand-up comedian up here in Fort Wayne, and I'm trying to talk him into letting me on a show up
Absolutely.
here sometime soon. So,
Yeah, we'll definitely go to it.
Hopefully he responds.
I mean, you're from Indianapolis, and
Yep.
that's not that far of a drive for us
Yeah.
anyway. But we don't travel too often. We have a lot of weekend scheduling. That's when you do a lot of your stand up
Right. Yep.
and stuff.
Yeah. Most of the shows are on the weekend. Open mics are throughout the week. The cool thing about Indianapolis and the comedy scene right now is how prevalent it is. There's literally an open mic Monday through Sunday that you could go do if you wanted to go do it. So
See, I don't know if it's just because I don't look for it here, but it's just not something that I think is very boom. Like, oh, did you go to the open mic
Comedy?
for this guy? Yeah, last night
Well, it's
in
because
Fort
the
Wayne.
Snickers Club closed down.
Yeah, and that would have been awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
There's
We went to that.
Fort Wayne Comedy Club. Is it not where Snickers used to be?
That's that. I don't know.
I don't
There-
know.
There is something called Fort Wayne Comedy Club, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wonder where they do
there's a
that.
lot of shows that I've heard of just because of talking to people at, is it Wrigley Field?
Wrigley. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where my mom does her karaoke.
They have comedy shows around. It's either there or there's another room or something
No, it'd be there.
nearby.
It'd
Yeah,
be there.
That's
Yeah.
down the street.
So that's one of the ones I've heard of. But yeah, the podcast stuff, with Jen, my wife being pregnant, I know.
Congrats, by the way. We can officially
thank
say
you.
that.
Yeah,
Congrats.
it was a long road, but
Yeah, man, holy cow, dude!
Yeah.
You guys had to put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But with the little one coming, I'm I know that I'm gonna have to cut some stuff out, and I'm trying to kind of figure out the podcast because I want to keep that going. I don't want to stop that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of thinking I'm kind of toying around with the idea of picking one day a month and recording for 6 hours or something like
Oh.
that, taking breaks here and there, and then releasing those episodes weekly. And then that way I only have to do it once a month as opposed to trying to get everybody's schedule together for a week every week.
Some of
okay.
your conversation might become dated at that point.
Well, that's what I actually thought through that, and I'm so basically, if I switch to that, the conversations are going to have to be not topical of what's going on, so
Current,
it might
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
flip more to just interviews, because interviews you can ask people about stuff and you can talk to them about what they're doing, and more than likely than not, it's not going to be what was on the news that day. So it's just an idea. I don't know, because like I said, I'm gonna have to right now I'm home maybe 3 nights a week because I'm doing something. I'm either doing the stand-up comedy, or I'm doing a podcast, or I'm interviewing somebody, or doing something. I just started. I picked up Muay Thai kickboxing, so I've
I
been
heard
doing
that
that too.
Dude, I
So,
heard the lessons what, $200 a month.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's I think it was one. Well, it's 170, I think,
Yeah.
and then if you sign up for 6 months, they take a certain amount off.
Yeah.
And it's more expensive than the gym, but my gym membership's free because my mom signed me up on her YMCA family plan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Thanks, Mom.
So it's not that big of an expense.
Have you done it
compared-
yet?
Oh yeah, I've been going.
And?
I've had 6 classes.
Holy cow!
Yeah?
Wow.
It's super hard. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
it's just
kickboxing.
it's just like stand-up comedy. When the very first day you get there, you literally have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I played sports in high school, but football is a way different like
You move your body in different ways.
Yeah, like
Right.
and fighting, like it's more rhythm and like kind of like figuring out how to remember stuff, but also like you want to be a good partner too for the person that you're working with, like because
Right.
you're working on these combos and doing stuff like that, and then I feel bad because I'm trying to hold the mitts, but I'm trying to do it right because I'm like, okay, he has to hit this 3 times and then he has to do a knee, so I'm like trying to like keep my hand,
oh gosh,
and
so
like
you don't get
cardio.
yourself whacked.
That's
like,
cardio, bro.
moving around
Yeah.
and stuff. But no, it's a blast. But like I said, with all that stuff going on, some stuff's gonna have to like change a little bit. But the podcast isn't going anywhere.
That's
It's just gonna evolve like it always has.
That's
Okay,
good. That's
good.
good. Yeah, Brett and I, we've been talking. Last week, Brett, you were talking about seasons, like going to seasons.
Oh yeah, that just an idea. If scheduling got difficult, we could have a period of time where we just take a break, you
Right.
know, and
Right.
and maybe go to like a season format. But you know, it was I kind of sprung it on you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had literally never brought it up before.
So you're doing a lot of stand-up comedy. Are you?
Yep.
What kind of steps are you taking to perfect your bits?
It's tough because everybody gives you tips and tricks, and I took a class even that kind of gave you like ideas on how to do things, but really everybody has to do it their own way. I have a really hard time forcing myself to sit down and write. A lot of the times like things come to me and I'll put them in my phone and like just kind of like bullet points, and then once I have like 3 or 4 of those things, then I'm like, okay, Justin, sit your ass down and write this out and try. But my biggest problem recently, because I'm still super new in that, I haven't even been doing this for 6 months, but trying new stuff, I freak out and I do really bad. Like for the first time, every time I've tried new material, it's like it's terrible. The crowd doesn't laugh. I freak out, so then I like rush through the rest. But then once you get, it's like literally going on a roller coaster. Once you get over that first time that you try it, and then you go back and you start to rewrite it and like kind of figure it out, then the next time you go up, you have more confidence with it. And another thing that I've found, because I was able to, I got really lucky to host a show in Newcastle where we had over 100 people in the crowd.
Nice.
I was actually less stressed for that show than any other show that I've done. Like it's kind of, I've noticed a pattern. The more people that are there, I'm more confident.
I think the
That's
more
good.
likely you're going to get a response
Exactly.
with more people.
And that's what
Yeah.
it
if
is.
if you're playing in
Because
front
you're gonna
of
get that guy in the back that's laughing at everything.
Yeah.
yes, like as long as
That'll
I
get
got
other
that
people.
guy, I'm good.
100%
it's kind of
true.
like it's like the opposite, honestly, for me for karaoke.
Yeah.
Because we were just doing karaoke the other night, and I'm like, oh man, this is the night you really need to be here, because it was just in rotation. It was like me, Josh's dad, and one other person. And I was like, this is the kind of thing that you need, and the fact that no one's listening, so you don't care what you do up on
Right.
stage. Versus
Hey, I
if there's
killed it.
100 people,
I killed
you
it on
did.
stage.
You killed it on stage.
Yeah.
You did. He actually made the whole bar stop, and one person was like, "Woo!"
Nice.
I can sing "Sound of
What
Silence."
were you saying?
Yeah.
"Sound of Silence" by Disturbed.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
you
one
did
of
a good
Jen's
job.
go-tos when
I
we
can
do the
hit that.
YouTube game.
Yeah.
The
She loves
YouTube
it.
game.
It's not really a game. It's literally just sitting in a circle and like say we're in this U shape that we're here now.
Yeah.
You would be first. You just pick a song and play the music video on YouTube, and we're just usually drinking while
Yeah.
we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then the controller goes to the next person, and then it literally, like, I love it because you tell people just play exactly what you want to hear. Don't like try to be influenced by anything. Just pick
Right.
what you want to see or you want to hear. And it's really cool because when you're playing in a group of strangers, I actually thought like it'd be really cool to make this into like an app or something, because
Right.
I feel like people would love it. But you kind of, it's like could even be like team building or like learning about the people you're around, because if you do it with strangers, they'll play something that you like. When you start playing it with like the same people over and over, you hear the same songs because everybody's drunk and they're like, "Oh, play the Sound of Silence," because
Yeah,
that's one
right.
of Jen's favorites, and like I hear it every time. But that's why I like playing it with new people, because they pick like stuff, and then that like will trigger something in my mind that I'm like, "Oh, they just played like a Garth Brooks country song, so like what other country songs did I like around then?" And like I think of it, and I come
Ah,
up with
that's
the
a
next
really
one.
good idea.
So it's really fun,
Yeah.
and like I said, usually there's like a lot of drinks involved too, so you get to see people's like weird choices
Weird
and things that they liked when they were like 8 years old or something like that.
We would do, when we'd hang out with some of our friends in Chicago, we would do pick 2 favorite artists, and they would
and
put
then
that
they would
in,
just put on our
Yeah.
playlist.
in a playlist of
Yeah.
artists of just their top top hits, and to be like a group of like 6 people, you got like 12 artists
Yeah.
there, so there's a whole mix of things.
And like I said, what I like the most about it is new people, because then they'll play something, and then Jen and I both have lists in our phone because we'll hear a song or see somebody play a song, and then like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna save this for the YouTube game. I'm gonna like put this on my phone so that I
That's
have
a good
like a
idea.
list of stuff that I like to hear and I like to introduce other people to.
we got to be more social.
I know, right?
We don't do that very often.
Or Jen and I will just do a Disney Power Hour.
There you
Just
go.
us two, like
Yes.
hanging out, watching the Power Hour. And
Have you guys
forgetting-
watched anything on Disney Plus?
Oh yeah,
You've been going pretty hardcore.
But what I wanted to say about Disney Plus is Disney Plus has become a letdown until they bring something new in. Like I feel like I feel like it's funny because I was like, when it was coming out, I was like, dude, this is gonna be so awesome. I get to watch all these movies, and then like now I'll click on it and I'm like, I don't really want to watch any
Well,
of this.
that's the thing. It's nice that it's there,
Yeah.
but how often do you really
Want
say,
to
I'm
watch
gonna
it?
watch that movie?
The Fox and the Hound and like
Exactly.
cry my eyes out. Yeah,
I
I want to do
know!
Almost
that.
every Disney movie on there, I'm like, oh, we can go to Peter Pan. Oh, that's all sad and everything. Or you can do Cinderella and all that. Like, I'm excited for some things. Alex and I could not watch the new Aladdin. We
Oh
couldn't do
no,
it.
no, we
so.
talked about that
It's
last
not
week.
that great. And what
Thank you.
what you said was perfect, because the first opening scene, that song where he's running through the market, I was like, there's literally no feeling right here.
Right.
Like
No.
when I was when you watch the original Aladdin, like I get like excited about certain songs and certain like bits and
Emphasis at
things.
certain points. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that I was like,
No, I think that's when I told
Nothing.
him to shut
Right.
it off. It was after that scene, and I was like, we hadn't even met
Anybody.
the genie,
genie.
or really met Jafar yet, and I was like,
to be honest
yeah,
with you,
don't.
it felt soulless. I know
Yeah.
that sounds weird,
That's
but
what
Very
it was.
much so.
Yeah,
until
soulless.
until Will Smith does come on though, because Will Smith actually did a pretty good job,
Maybe we should try it.
just in his own way.
Okay.
That's the way I
Okay.
feel.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting
No,
way
you're
off
good.
topic.
You're good. You're good. Do you guys want to talk about the movie club?
No.
No. Fine.
No.
Why don't you say your witness? Your crime.
Ooh.
You want me to go over the week? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been saying this a lot over the week. I Twitch streamed on Wednesday, and I told this to them, and I told my chat today as well too. So I'm gonna do it for a third time. Here we go, guys. So Tuesday night, Alex calls me around 6:30. We're having a conversation. It's in between this time frame, and she is telling me about how we're just talking, and then she's like kind of getting stressed about the week. We had a lot of stuff we had to do this week. Just getting things ready for everything. My parents being in town, and getting ready for the weekend and things. We're gonna be going traveling in 2 weeks, so Alex had to make sure that she got her driver's license and everything, updated for the trip, because it expires next week. So we were having a bit. That was Tuesday, and you tried to go over noon, but you couldn't do it because it was too much going on. So you called me around 6:15, 6:30, and your car died. And I got off the phone with Alex, and within that time frame, I was taking photos of the studio, getting things ready for the promotion for the weekend, and I heard a lot of shouting outside of our window, right over here, actually, like right around the corner here. And I went to the window after about 5 minutes of it. Like, it was like shouting that could disrupt everybody. Like, seriously, it was some yelling. It was like people on the top of the voice kind of stuff. I saw 3 people. There could have been maybe a 4th in a silver car, maybe around a silver car. There was a woman, 2 guys for sure. And I don't know who was driving the vehicle. There was some commotion going on, and they were moving the car, and I heard 2 gunshots.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 2
Yikes.
gunshots, and it was either inside or outside the vehicle. I'm not certain. I'm not too sure on how that went down. I was right here, so hearing it outside, it could have muffled it. Could
Yeah.
have been inside the car, could have muffled it. I don't know. And then it was, our parking lot goes into a P. So it's like there's the entrance, and then it circles around, and then it goes out. This car whipped from the entrance all the way down. That's where they were. They were about at the entrance of our apartment complex, and they whipped all the way down and didn't realize, hey, there's a dead end, by the way. So they had to take a turn. By the time that they turned, I went from here to our balcony, and by that time, that silver car disappeared. I don't know where it went.
Oh wow.
And then another vehicle, a black vehicle, showed up. I don't know. It might have been within that same time frame. It was circling our parking lot, yelling out obscenities, and I was on the phone with 911 and everything.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so I don't know if I witnessed a murder. I don't know if I witnessed just a drive-by. And also what happened is the car, as it was moving after the gunshots, I don't know if it was a hit by car or if the guy was hanging out the window or if the guy was running with the car, but his legs were in the air eventually. So I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a whole scene.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
Did you talk to the police?
I did. Yes. Yep. I had a full conversation. Well, when I
arrive and there's like 10 cop cars, and I
Okay,
can't.
no.
I can't get into
You
the
know,
apartment.
Alex likes to over exaggerate. I can count.
There were 6.
I can count 5 or 6 squad cars. One of them was a K9
That's
unit.
pretty close to 10.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, get
there
it right.
were 6. It filled like the whole front entrance, and there was a canine barking his head off.
It's like a million policemen out there.
6 is closer to 5 than 10.
Shut up, Brett.
So yeah, it was pretty scary. But I'm not too shooken up about it because they're the. Oh, we have that on there twice, by the way. Football
Yeah, I
trivia. There was they're the only neighbors that I've ever seen as shady, maybe. So everyone else was like, my neighbors are so paranoid now. They have a mattress in front of their balcony window.
Is that what that? Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they're afraid that they're gonna get
Yeah,
shot up.
gunshots.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not.
A
mattress
Yeah,
is
that's what I was
like
just
a
about
neighborhood.
to say.
We don't have gangbangers in this parking lot frequently. I'm telling you, this is not an unsafe neighborhood.
Yeah, I was just about to
No.
say, thanks for inviting me down.
Yeah,
here.
right.
No, this is considered a safe area.
Right.
But everybody at work was like, "Wow, so that place is shady." I'm like, "No, gunshots can happen anywhere. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't
Yeah.
make it like it's repetitive in the same spot that makes it bad."
Yeah.
I just saw a video on Twitter of a pizza delivery guy, and he's getting hassled by like a group of people outside of an apartment building, and they're like, yelling at him about to take the pizza, and like they take the pizza out of his hand. He pulls a gun out and starts telling them all to get on their hands and knees, and like he just like,
Oh, wow.
it's like kind of like it just the whole thing flips from this guy getting yelled at to he's yelling at all of them. And it's like he's like, it's all over a pizza, man. Are you kidding me? And like he just keeps yelling. It's great.
Oh
It's good
my
karma for those guys
God.
for
Right.
hassling the pizza guy for no reason.
Do they comply?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're all laying on the ground. You hear people screaming, "That's my brother!" Like and that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
it was just, but
Just
no,
in
it
the
was
background.
good. It was good. It was a good
Oh my
video.
gosh.
Good karma for somebody like getting hassled just delivering a pizza.
It's like seeing those bully videos where someone, flips around and, attacks the bully after they've been bullying them, and then that guy gets in trouble. God.
Yeah.
Oh, we were watching Interstellar. I showed my parents that movie. I forgot how long that movie is.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
almost 3 hours long. So we were watching it Wednesday night, and that movie, there's a part like right at the beginning where the child is trying to like confirm that science is going on, and like she's more interested in space than the ground, because in Interstellar right towards that time there's bad weather going on due to all these issues, and she was acting up in class, and Matthew McConaughey's character is like, there's a baseball game going on next week. I think I'll take her to that because she believes in science and not this other BS about staying on Earth. It's a good movie if you ever seen it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's a cry movie, bro.
Yeah.
Like I had to hold back tears. Like I'm not gonna cry in front of my parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually part of one of my bits though. That's like I have not cried since I was 8 years old.
Have you really?
Not once.
What bit
That I
is
can
killing
think
it,
of.
by the way? Do you have one that's like really getting like
That one's pretty good. And then I have a bit about growing up without a dad, which to me it's funny, and it usually like what's really great about it is the first line usually gets like a from the crowd.
what I just did. What I just did. Like
From the crowd, and then I have a tag for it that is hey, daddy issues isn't just for the ladies. And then like I just like I move into the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good, but I'm not gonna do it for you right now.
No. It's probably the worst thing to tell a comedian is to try to be funny at any time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to build for it.
And that's another kind of funny thing that I'm kind of trying to toy around with and try to write is every book you read, every class that the class that I took and other stuff that I've kind of been a part of has said, if somebody has told you that you're funny in person, you should try stand-up comedy. And what's funny is nobody has ever told me I was funny in person. So, but I'm going to still try stand-up comedy. So I don't know if I have a bright future, but we're going to see.
We'll see.
Have you ever been like that guy that has like the crowd of people around them at the party while you're telling stories and stuff?
Yeah.
Then you're funny.
That you're funny.
You're good.
You're
And-
interesting.
Yes.
And I like the attention. I'm a big,
Oh, well,
I'm a
then
big
there you
attention whore.
Narcissism at its best. No, I've been hearing you telling you've been talking on having been a guest on actually. Well, you were doing a remote show on your last comedy stand up, and then you also did a which God you sounded pretty drunk.
Oh, I was. That is not a joke.
And then you were on the Boss Hog podcast.
Yep.
Those guys are pretty awesome. I love their setup and the way they sound and everything. They are very. Shout out to them, by the way. They are very passionate about voting.
Oh yeah,
Dude, they know what they're talking about,
yeah.
dude. Like they're like talking about how a vote swings and you can veto it. I'm like, I don't know this.
yeah. It's definitely a good group of guys. Then they're in Newcastle, Indiana. They were responsible for at least 25 people that were at the Newcastle show that we did the comedy show. Like,
Nice.
right before.
So they brought a crowd.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice.
They're great guys.
That's cool. All right. Well, yeah, we went into some interesting stuff. Wow, we've been on like.
What's next, Brett?
Yeah,
You're
Brad's
fun.
driving the show.
We can do the movie club.
Okay, so what the
Alright.
movie club is, every single week we pick a movie to watch. At least 1/3 of us has not seen it. Is kind of like the layout for the ground rules. And this week we actually did a special edition where we let Juice pick, and he picked 2 movies, and it was either Donnie Darko or Requiem for a Dream. And I'm gonna say I would have rather have watched Donnie Darko again than this movie. Holy
yeah, if you want to be
cow.
depressed.
Well, it's
I wasn't depressed.
Really?
No. Well, it's because what? Oh, frick, his arm. God, his arm. Jared Leto.
Blah.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, this movie was pretty insane.
So obviously, Juice, you've seen this. Brett, you had not seen this before.
I had not.
Let me give you
And
the synopsis.
I think all 3 of us had not seen it before.
Okay, 2000, 2001. It actually said 2001 on Xbox. It's 2000 on IMDb, so I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing I'm gonna bring up as well with Jared Leto on this. The synopsis of this movie is the drug-induced utopias of 4 Coney Island people are shattered when their addictions run deep. And
I
boy,
get that now.
did they run deep.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about this before watching it, I was like, oh my gosh, they don't even know.
We
No.
were in for a trip. I couldn't even write like and dislike. I usually have notes of my thoughts on the movie. We watched it last night, and oh my god,
You
dude.
can't really write notes on it.
Is
Right.
this how you got the nickname Juice?
No.
Okay.
They said Juice so many
Yeah.
times. I was like,
I noticed
this
that
is
too.
why he got named Juice.
Do you
No.
have a story for that?
It's not that interesting, but I'll tell it anyways. A football coach gave me the nickname. He just called me Juiced one time, and then he kind of like he would always say that, and then he kind of shortened it to Juice in a math class, and everybody thought it annoyed me and made me mad, and so
That's the best. When,
so then
when you make that.
it just stuck, and it
Yeah.
didn't bother me really. And what was really interesting was, this is actually the interesting part of the story. When I was in 6th grade, I was at one school in New Palestine, Indiana, and I was a hardcore nerd. Like, we would go play LAN parties with Command and Conquer,
Ooh.
Civilization, like
The
things
fun
like that,
stuff.
where I would one of my buddies, his dad was like a computer programmer type job, and he had like computers all through his house, and we would all go over there to play, and we would spend
Nice.
hours playing. And so, but I was in band. I was and I'm not saying anything negative about
I
these
was in
things.
band.
I'm not saying anything negative about these things. This is just the lifestyle I had. And then I moved in 7th grade to Eastern Hancock, and when I moved, I was like, I like girls, so I'm gonna do everything I can to change everything about me. So I started riding my bike to school.
Reinvent yourself.
Yeah, I lost like 10 or 15 pounds. I started riding my bike to school, got into sports like a lot more than I was always into sports, but like I really like threw myself into it. I got like pretty good, so then like people liked me. I was like really popular, but like that whole personality of Juice was like created as like a way to change how I felt about myself and like
Yeah.
how I was going to be perceived by everybody. So like, because I'm still this way, but I'm like, I was super anxious and like I didn't like talking to people very much when I was like in 6th grade, and then I was like, nope, I'm not going to be that way anymore.
You were shy.
And I switched, and like Juice became like just a completely, like, it was like an alter ego. Like it carried on into college, where I would I would just like party really hard. I always wanted to make sure everybody was having the best time wherever I was at.
Sounds like my parties.
And that's like, it just was it's a different person. Justin is a different person than the Juice. And
You're like Vince McMahon.
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like that's how I got that nickname.
Alex,
I thought for sure when we started this up and it was like Juice. I'm like, this must be why he got his name.
Because maybe you looked like Christopher McDonald or something. No, but that's the same with Alex and I at parties. We make sure everyone else is having a good time. We don't even you won't even see us in the same room.
Yeah,
No.
It's crazy.
Brett, let's
talk about Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah. I want to hear you guys' thoughts.
Yeah.
What stuck to me about, I didn't know what to think of it in like the first 45 minutes. So then I figured out what was going on. What's interesting about it is the lingo they use to talk about doing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I've never been into it, so I had to kind of think about, oh, that's what they meant when they would say something and then they would go do it.
Well,
So-
yeah, see, Brett, you've never really been an urban person. Like, you never really been in the cities, so you don't know a lot of city lingo. So this is probably a culture
Except that
shock.
I've lived in the city for the last 12 years.
But you haven't lived in this is Fort Wayne. No.
I haven't lived in New York. No.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you haven't lived in like some pretty hard places. Fort Wayne's not hard to live.
Are you
in.
saying South Dakota was hard?
No, but I've lived in Chicago.
You lived in Chicago.
Excuse me. Went to college there, bro.
So anyway,
Oh yeah, there's some hard people in the Midwest Plains, dude. South Dakota's hardcore.
I liked this movie. You
liked it?
I liked it. Yeah.
Wow.
It was sad. I felt really bad for the mom.
I felt bad for
Who
a lot of people.
popping pills towards the end, like they were Skittles.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just popping diet pills like crazy. Ended up being batshit crazy.
Did you have you ever
and
had an
got
addiction?
committed.
You ever have an addiction
Not
of any
no,
sort?
nothing that I
No.
couldn't
Control.
control, which
Yeah.
would be an addiction then. But
Right.
it really just got worse and worse and worse for all of them to where they literally could not control it.
Right. Right.
And it was just a downward spiral for
Okay,
everybody.
so-
I didn't really like the way it ended. I felt like, well, what's going to happen?
Right.
You know?
Right. Was everyone else doing heroin except the mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's
Well,
what it was.
they do multiple different kinds of drugs.
Okay, so
when
yeah,
she's designing her clothes,
Yeah.
she's doing cocaine.
Yeah, that's right. I started like sniffing.
Okay.
Because that's
okay.
why
And she rolled up a dollar bill.
That's
Yeah.
one of my what I am a huge fan of this movie is the cinematography and like the way everything was shot.
Alex is really into
Yeah,
cinematography.
I
like that's her
really-
thing.
I mean, if you want to roll to me real quick, I liked it.
Yeah.
Like, I liked the movie. Like,
Yeah.
surprisingly, like, at the first, like, I agree with Brett. The first, like, 45 minutes or so, I'm like, what in the F are we watching?
I thought it was just an artsy movie at that point.
And that's what I was told is, like, it's a very artsy, like, drug-induced movie. I'm like, okay. So we watched it, and I was like, about the first 45 minutes, I didn't know what to think. And then I kind of got the swing of things. And I really liked how they did, like, the split screen and like I just really and like they zoomed in on people's faces and I'm like, wow, this is really good. Like I understood what they were feeling and I liked it. I didn't like everyone's like, you're gonna be so depressed at the end. I'm like, I wasn't depressed. I was just like, oh, it's a good movie.
I wasn't depressed, but I felt bad for them.
Yeah.
The only thing is the Marlon Wayans character just ended up locked up, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Did you lead a lot of arm?
he did. He had to have his arm
God.
amputated because his track got infected.
infected.
And then he shot
So
up
gross.
in the
Worst
infected
scene
track.
That was
ever.
the grossest thing of all time.
I couldn't
Isn't
watch
it?
that
Oh my
scene.
God.
It was awful.
It was so bad.
What made me angry is when the mom goes to the doctor because she feels like the pills are not as strong. And she's telling the doctor what is wrong. And he's like, nothing to worry about. And hands her a refill on the prescription.
That's the
I was like,
medical.
what the hell?
That was let me tell you a story about that. Actually, I have a relation to that because I went to a doctor in Chicago when I had I swear I had bronchitis or whatever, and I just wanted to get on the.
Is that when I took you?
Yes.
That was bullshit.
Literally, I was with the doctor for less than 3 minutes.
Yes. Like
Hardly.
Josh
He
calls
did, I don't
me-
even think he touched my glands or
no,
anything.
No,
he didn't even touch
No, so here's how it went. So I watched
my
it.
throat or anything. Looked
No,
at me. At all.
I had to. He called me at work, which was 45 minutes away, and said I can't breathe. I am having trouble breathing. I looked at my boss. I was like, I need to go. I need to take Josh somewhere. And we only had one car at the time, and we'd never been to a doctor around the area because we lived in Chicago. So I just took him to some walk-in clinic.
I don't even remember what
I
it
don't
was
even know
called.
where it was called.
Nope.
And we walked in there, and pretty much, and I had a stethoscope hanging from my, like I carry a stethoscope, so I had it in my car. And so we walk in, and they get Josh in there. Josh is deaf in his right ear. The guy goes up, the doctor comes in, introduces himself, automatically, like, he's here because he can't breathe. And he's like, like, you can tell he's got bronchitis or pneumonia or something. He's not doing well. Looks in Josh's ears and goes, is there something wrong with, oh yeah, I'm deaf in my right ear. Like, you can tell apparently when you look down into his ear.
Scar tissue.
And then goes, what seems to be the problem? You're like, oh, I'm having trouble breathing, this. He does not even listen to Josh's lungs and goes,
Nope.
I'll be right back. I'll write you a script.
Oh, okay.
And then we leave.
Yep. Those walk-in
Poor
clinics.
provider.
Well, those
Yes.
walk-in clinics are not. Well, now we have a family doctor, so.
But we
they're a
just
lot
kind of
better.
freaked out and went to the first place. And that's all he did was like look in his ears and went, here's a script.
Yep.
They gave
Didn't
me the
listen to
Z-Pack.
him or anything.
Hey, you know what? The Z-Pack did wonders. It works for everything. That.
But what if
you
he
know.
had a heart condition
Yes,
or
but
something?
in your situation, he gave you what you needed. He just gave her a refill for more diet pills.
That's
We don't
true.
know
Just
if
take-
that's what she
just
needed,
take more.
though. Right. Well, I don't know.
Well, I have to assume that's what he
She
gave
was
her.
abusing the drugs
Oh,
eventually.
very much so.
And then, God, just like towards the end when she was getting electrotherapy, it was just the worst. That
God.
music that was with it, though, was really interesting.
And then
Yeah.
when
Music was
her
good.
her friends are in the waiting room and she comes out, and they're like, you can see the shock on their faces because
Right.
she just looks awful.
Gaunt.
Yes.
Yes, just
Just
the
awful.
worst.
This was also the first movie that I had seen that camera technique where the camera is like it's attached to the actor and it's kind of
Oh,
like
yeah,
facing
yeah. It
them
shows
and it
their
looks
face.
very, very stressful and like they're running, like when they're running away from the drug deal and it's like right in his
Oh,
Marlon
yeah.
Wayans face.
Dude,
that
that
was the
was
first
good.
time I saw that and I was like, I love that.
Breaking Bad uses that
Yes.
a lot, and that's one reason why I love that show is because
Yep.
of those camera angles. I don't like Dutch angles, and that's where it's really slanted and in a weird angle or
Yeah.
whatever. Those are called Dutch angles.
Yep.
Those are the ones that bother me, and luckily there wasn't too much of that in this movie. I
Yeah.
expected that because that's very artsy, and I would do that too if I were directing a film. But it was a really interesting film. My take on it was basically, don't do heroin.
That's
Yeah.
That's why I won't go near him.
And like it showed one scene with marijuana and I'm one person, I'm an advocate for
Well, I thought
cannabis.
Marlon Wayans' character was smoking it like all the time.
No.
No, he was like smoking cigarettes or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
no.
looked
They did
like.
one scene with marijuana and the villainy of marijuana needs to stop.
Well, you got to remember this was back.
2001, yes.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like we're probably going to segue into the NFL thing, right? With this, Brett?
Sure.
Yeah, because that's one thing I'm going to bring up about what we're going to talk about is, marijuana itself, being portrayed as a villainous drug is it's crazy. It's insane. So whenever they bring that into the fold,
So
bothers me.
Just to finish off, I'm glad you picked this or we picked it because
Yeah.
I've heard of this movie and I would never have watched it on my own.
No.
So.
And what
Right.
I had hoped for was that you guys would just take something from it, like some sort of emotion or enjoyment. So
Yeah,
I
I
hope
liked
that
it.
worked out for you guys.
It's kind of funny, right after this movie, Marlon Wayans went to go work on Scary Movie.
It's quite the different
Career
movie.
turn, and then he did 2, and then White Chicks, and
Didn't his brother direct?
oh,
Scary Movie?
the Wayans brothers. There's like 3 of them.
No, there's
No,
like
there's
7.
yeah.
Okay,
There's
I know of
there's 6
3.
or
I know of
7. It's
3. I know
crazy.
3. I know 3.
Yeah.
And they're
So-
all in comedy,
other's stuff.
movies,
Yeah.
things like that.
I wonder what they're doing
Keenan
now.
Ivory started with In Living Color, I believe. Is that right?
You might be right.
Brett's got the facts here.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, speaking of that, when you guys started off with the Jim Carrey thing, in Living Color was
What was his thing?
he asked, like, he gave them credit because he said, Saturday Night Live and all those people wouldn't give me a shot, and the
Right.
people at in Living Color gave him a shot.
He was
Did you-
way too animated
Have
for
you seen
SNL.
the Vanilla Ice skit that he does?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
He
It's so
takes
good.
his shoe off.
We're going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk
Oh,
about.
hold on. I got to pick a movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. My fault.
I'm going to
Oh.
bite I'm going to bite the bullet, guys. We're doing it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yay.
Oh, I want to see
All
that.
right.
It's one of those that I haven't taken the time to prepare myself because I'm
because
like,
it's
I really
3
want to
hours
pay
long.
attention to this. I want to watch this.
It's a Tarantino film.
It is 3
Yeah.
hours.
And then I
long.
end up watching The Office like I do.
Yeah.
No, I've been wanting to watch this film forever.
So have I.
And Brett, we have plenty of time to watch it. So if we need to break it up in 2.
No, it's fine. I'm on vacation starting Monday.
Oh, you
Oh,
are.
that's right. Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
right. So we can watch it maybe next Friday or something without
Yep.
any
Yep.
hassle.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
watch that as well.
Yeah, I've always been a Tarantino fan, but some of his films are just a little off the cuff,
He just loves his dialogue, man.
and he loves feet.
He loves his blood too.
All right.
You guys haven't seen Reservoir Dogs, have you?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good thing that we're not having that this week.
All right. So Aaron Hernandez.
So yeah.
Netflix came out with a 3-part docu-series about they called it Inside the Mind of a Killer, which I don't know if I like that title, but it was basically about Aaron Hernandez and how his story from being a kid all the way up through committing suicide in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched this because of the sports tie-in. I mean, I remember when this was in the news, but I didn't know any of the details, and they go into detail.
They do. Yes.
And it's
What's really crazy is Jen was like, this didn't happen that long ago, did it? And I was like, no. And she was like, I don't remember this in the news at all.
Yeah.
I don't.
yeah.
I remember his face though. I don't know why, but I remember his face, and that was before I was watching football.
That's a good point because that Super Bowl that he caught a touchdown pass in was in 2012 against the Giants. That's the one they lost.
Yep.
The second one that they
The
lost.
one that was in
Like,
Indy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
when you
that
think
was
about it.
literally that year was the year Jen and I met,
Yeah.
and we went
Wow.
we went to the Super Bowl, or we didn't go to the Super Bowl, but we went downtown and hung out the Sunday of the Super Bowl and like just kind of walked around. It was like the craziest thing I've
Party
ever
town,
been a part
right?
of. I had a Camelback and I'd filled it with jungle juice, and I was just walking around drinking that and like giving it to other people. So gross germs now that I think about it.
That's what you do when you're drunk, though. Oh, here,
a
drink
party.
this.
Yeah.
Here, have this.
Yeah, and I walked into like bars with it on even, and they were like, "Hey, what's in your backpack?" I would
water.
open it and I'd show them, but like the bladder was hidden behind like a zipper pocket. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So they were like, "Okay, whatever, just don't mess with this, I guess, or don't try to steal anything."
So
But yeah,
I watched this without being cynical, which is not really, well, it's kind of my thing, but I've read some stuff afterwards, and I'm like, yeah, I guess maybe Netflix was trying to skirt some issues or subliminally suggest things. I don't know.
Right.
But one thing the documentary does is they talk about his chain smoking marijuana.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that, but they also talked about his possibility of being a homosexual.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy it.
Which I don't either. It seems like a bit of a stretch, even though apparently one of his high school teammates said that they had experimented, and I've read some things that he claimed to be a quarterback and he wasn't even a quarterback. I don't
He
know.
claimed also that he was the starter and that they were best friends.
Yes.
And then somebody posted the fact that he was not even the starting quarterback. He got to play
Right.
2 games.
Right.
Wow.
So you take that for what you will. Look, what he did was terrible.
Right.
And he became this paranoid, just, I don't know if it was a I want to be a gangster kind of thing. I have money. But he was, it feels like they're trying to say that the damage to his brain through football, CTE, maybe caused him to do these murders.
I just think that like when I was watching that, all of the stuff in his life is a
Contributed.
recipe to create somebody that is going to kill somebody.
Sure.
That's what I took away from it. It's
That's
like,
what I did.
I mean,
And then
literally
you
all of
add
the
on,
ingredients.
you add on CTE, and when they
Yeah.
they did, and I was glad that the family okayed the
Brain,
biopsy
yeah.
of his brain and stuff, because you could see when she was talking about it and putting a normal brain side by side, when you damage your frontal lobe like that controls like your emotions and everything. That's gotta his, like you said, like there was just a chemistry or a combination of things from the childhood growing up. Well, just because you have everything doesn't make you a good person.
Right.
And then you've got the CTE, which probably just exacerbated or
Exacerbates.
Exacerbated.
I like
Exacerbated.
exaggerated though. I'm going to probably save that to use later.
You know what I mean? All of that combination just made it go boom.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I
even
made it go boom.
Stop it. You're
I
gonna put
love it.
If you wanna
exaggerated as
throw
the
it at,
title.
like,
Exaggerated.
if you want to throw it out to like even like Antonio Brown right now,
He's
Oh my
going,
God,
he's
dude.
going crazy.
and it's similar. Like ever since the Vontaze Burfict hit,
Yes.
where Antonio Brown got knocked the f out,
Yes.
he has acted weird.
Yeah. So
He's the one that hit Rudolph, right?
No.
No. That was Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, that guy.
Per-
Guy's crazy.
per-
too.
And
First
Perfect.
player to ever use a helmet as a weapon.
it's kind of like
We were just
the
Adam
watching that.
Sandler.
yeah, the Happy Gilmore thing. I was the only guy to take off my skate.
Try to stab somebody.
Love that.
Oh, it's my favorite. We should have watched that when we were drinking, Brett.
Bert, I wanted to, and you said no.
No, we watched.
She said no.
We
she
watched
said
Billy
that.
Madison instead. It's fine.
That's pretty good too.
Perfect is on the Raiders, and he was tossed for the season and early in the. Was that this year or was that last year?
Last year, I think, where he was
I don't
out for
think
the
he
season.
played this
I don't
year.
think he's even on a
I
team
don't think
this
he
year.
is either because I remember.
But yeah, he knocked him out. I think he was out for like an extended period of time.
because he's a repeat offender. But anyway, maybe CTE has had an effect, sent him to do, had an effect on his brain that made him more susceptible. I don't know. What I do know is that CTE is a real thing, and the NFL can try to say that they're trying to protect players from getting CTE. I think they need to. I understand the public image of we have to protect our players, and I'm not saying they shouldn't try, but what I think everybody needs to understand, and even football players, if you go the distance, if you have the talent to go through high school, college, and eventually into the pros, you are going to have some amount of brain damage, and you need to just either decide to accept it or don't play football. And that's where maybe parents are going to come into the realization of, I don't want my child playing this game because it is just too violent.
My son's gonna play football if they want to play football.
That's what we said. It's like if they want to
If
do it, they want to
whatever
do it. But
my
we're
kids
want to
do-
about
Exactly.
this is what can
Yes,
happen.
whatever they want to do, they can do. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say no to them.
I think we are
Absolutely
going to
not.
see a lot more players retiring early.
Wasn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that was
it
the other thing,
Aaron
yeah.
Judge who said, I don't know if his parents actually said it, but he is one that you would think maybe he didn't play football because he's huge, and maybe he went to baseball because it's way less violent.
And your quality of life afterwards is probably going to be
Yes.
better.
Mahomes did the opposite. He played
Correct.
baseball,
And
then he went.
Russell Wilson was also a baseball player.
Was he really?
And Kyler Murray was also
Yep.
a baseball
I did not
player.
know that
Yep.
Wilson was.
Kyler Murray was actually like, he was playing the game of, hey, I'm going to see how much the baseball team's going to pay me,
Sure.
and then you guys figure out how you're going to do my contract as well.
One
Right.
thing that Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray do better than anybody is they slide well before they're going to get hit.
Yep.
So they are taking far less violent hits than a lot of other
Like the big
quarterbacks.
tight end, like Aaron Hernandez, he was getting everybody's biggest shot. He was just like Rob Gronkowski.
Yes.
That's why Gronkowski retired at a pretty young age
It was
too.
his knees
Yep.
more than his head. And
Yeah.
what's interesting about that is a big player like that will tell you, don't go for my knees, go for my head. Because if you take out my knee, then I'm out for X amount of time. They wanted to be hit high and not hit low because you can't run. And now this was years before it really started to be a
The
problem.
helmet's changed.
The helmet's changed.
They
but
put a
it's
lot
not-
of work into
it's-
the helmet.
Yes,
You
they
can
have,
put
but that's
the
not
best
enough.
helmet on a
Yes,
head,
I
but
agree.
there's still going to be whiplash and
Brain knocking.
brain knocking. Yeah.
When you take the force that it takes to get an actual concussion, it's not that much.
Right.
No,
And the
it's not. I can
players-
take my seat back and hit my head and get a concussion.
The players are bigger and faster than ever, and
Yeah.
there's probably concussions way more than
Yeah.
you would
and
consider.
and the
Yeah.
more protection, this is the take that I actually always like to share with other people is when they improve the helmets, they improve the gear that they're wearing, that makes them more likely to hit somebody as hard as they can
Because
and
they're-
cause a concussion because they feel like it's like driving your car with your seatbelt. Like you feel like confident that you're not going to get hurt. So you may drive a little bit more erratically. That's what they're doing with their helmets. is
Just
that-
don't tell the players then.
I remember Brett Favre was asked in an interview about how many concussions do you think you had in your career, and he said probably in the thousands.
What?
And again,
Brett Favre.
considering what a concussion is, you know, they didn't go out for concussions in the 90s and early 2000s.
No, they didn't.
Like they do now with the whole tent. That
Yeah.
they
Well,
have.
yeah. I mean, even like in high school, like
Yeah, let the
I
dog
know
out
that
real quick. I'm gonna
I
use
know
the
that I
restroom,
got
so
I got hit one time, and I played a whole half of football that I don't remember. It was just was not there the next day.
There's one shot of Brett Favre because he's considered the Iron Man.
Yep.
He got tackled real hard, got driven to the ground. You see his head hit the ground, and he instantly puts his hands on his head like, oh, that really hurt. And I'm like, that's a concussion.
Yep.
He didn't go out of the
He
game.
got up and he
you
started
know?
playing again.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So, but back to the Aaron Hernandez
Yep.
thing. It was really sad because they played phone calls between him and his
wife?
fiance.
Yeah, or his fiance,
in his last days. And what I didn't remember is that he was also on trial after he was convicted for Odin Lloyd for the
Oh, the other
double
two?
homicide,
Yeah. Mhm.
which an eyewitness says that he absolutely did, and he actually got off of that.
Of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. I can't believe you got an eyewitness who says that he saw him do it, and a good, defense lawyer got him off.
So what I know Josh left the table, but what I did not like is that rule or that law that they had. Where if
yes.
you commit suicide, you're like erased of all of your
Charges.
Your charges.
Which
Can
That's
I
stupid.
give my flip side of that though?
Sure, you go ahead.
Which is why, I mean, he's dead and gone. I understand that the family wanted justice, but at the same time, in my opinion, once again, I never lost anybody like that, so maybe I just don't have the frame of
Yeah.
reference. But I wouldn't care anymore. I wouldn't keep
if
pursuing
he's dead.
legal
He
stuff
is-
against somebody just because I just don't care at that point. That person's gone.
Josh,
Yeah.
we were talking about the law that they have about if you commit suicide, it just erases your
Oh my
crime.
God! I can't believe that existed. I can't.
Yeah,
believe
and they
that
got
was
rid of it really quickly
Oh,
just
yeah.
because of that case.
Yeah. I mean, and okay, so you can.
okay, I killed 25 people. All right, now I'm in jail. Well, I know I did it. Just
Bye.
killed myself. Oh, well, now he's innocent.
No, now see the thing with the
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying with the
Innocent is the
innocent
wrong
thing,
word.
but
It's
Right.
just an overturned conviction.
Well, that's what I mean. Okay,
you
didn't do
feel,
it
you
or
feel
whatever.
bad for the family that was left behind.
right.
Let's say
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. I'm not just saying just for his specific case. I just talking about the law in general
Yeah.
or the whatever, the rule or whatever you want to call it. That was just, I cannot believe that existed.
Yeah. I'm on number 3 too, Juice. I'm gonna keep up with you.
No, that it was the other thing I wanted to just throw out there about the Aaron Hernandez documentary was the intro music was really weird
Yeah.
Yes.
because it felt like we were getting ready to watch a 30 for 30 celebrating
Yeah, special.
Sure.
and B, the way they put it together, I felt was not great for a documentary. I just felt Jen even looked at me at one point and was like, "They're jumping all over the place. What the hell's going
Yeah,
on?"
yeah,
I don't know
they
what-
were.
I don't
I
know
got
what we're
confused. I
watching.
stopped watching for a little bit, just
And
listening.
The last thing, the third thing, the homosexual lineman that came out after the NFL. Why was he
Yeah.
on there besides
Yeah.
just to try to maybe build their narrative of that
Yes.
he was closeted homo?
I agree.
No.
I think that there was a little bit of a political factor
Oh,
put
sure.
in this a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
It felt like this documentary had an agenda.
Yes.
Well, have you ever watched a Michael Moore documentary?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
There's an agenda.
yeah.
I mean, I've watched a couple of his.
Yeah, they
But
all have to
that's
have
well-
some sort of agenda that
that's
they're,
Yes.
a
they're
well-known
trying to build.
thing. I just wonder if the NFL had any say in what was portrayed or the message portrayed in this documentary.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get the message. The message was this guy, it was more just, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And you can take either, maybe it was marijuana, maybe he was in the closet, maybe he had a bad childhood, or maybe it's CTE. You make the choice. I don't know.
God,
it's
there's
just weird.
so much. And maybe it was because he was traded to the Patriots, or he was signed by
He
the
went
Patriots
back
instead of someone
home.
else.
Yeah.
If he would have gone somewhere else, maybe something might have been different. Maybe
Or maybe it was worse.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
yeah.
that's
Think about
it.
that too.
When you get money, and have you watched that 30 for 30 called Broke?
I don't remember, but is it the Chris Carter quote?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about with
I
that?
don't think so.
Basically, this will be really quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're
but,
good.
Chris Carter basically on when this was all going on, the Aaron Hernandez thing and other situations in the NFL, he basically said, you give somebody a bunch of money, they become 10 times of whatever they already are. So if you are a lazy person and you get a bunch of money, you're going to just be more lazy. If you're a good person and you get a bunch of money and you're going to be a good person. And he was like, with Aaron Hernandez, they kept every single time he was, given another chance, because he was known as a troubled kid in high school all the way through college into the NFL.
But because he was good at something.
Yep. And and everybody in his life kept thinking, or everybody in his life that was responsible for the money was like, we'll give him more money so he'll definitely now know he's got something to lose, so he'll be a better human.
Straighten himself
And,
out.
and it went the exact opposite. And I just like Chris Carter saying, like,
that's a good point.
if you give somebody a bunch of money, they just become worse at whatever they already are, or or more of what they already are.
The one thing I always remember from the documentary, or the 30 for 30 called Broke, is that when you get a bunch of money, and I don't believe the NFL, they do now, but they don't give any kind of guidance or teaching on how to handle large amounts of money.
Right.
So the leeches just come out of the woodwork, and
there needs to be like some people who are watching their money for
you
them.
end up with an entourage and just everybody and their brother trying to get a slice.
Right.
God, you think about that, it's kind of like just getting a celebrity status without really having any guidance, and it just can get worse.
I mean, how many agents camp out at the combine or the draft, just waiting to sign the big name.
But do they care what they do in their personal lives? No.
No.
I mean, have you seen all the stories that come out from the NFL?
Oh.
The elevator beat down, the dogs with Michael Vick. It's just a lot of stuff.
There was one line. There was a phone call between Aaron Hernandez and his agent, and he's talking about, like, I can't really get anything for you after you. This was after he was locked up. And he's like, can you get me an endorsement deal with Smith & Wesson? I'm like,
Yeah. Jeez.
That's not even funny, dude.
What's Smith & Wesson?
A gun company.
Sorry, I just...
Oh, is that what that... Oh,
Gun manufacturer.
okay.
You're talking to two people who don't even know anything about guns.
That's what... Okay, I was like, what the heck is that? I thought it was like Nike or something.
No.
He tried Nike, didn't he?
Yeah.
Smith & Wesson makes guns.
And his wasn't his agent like laughing?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, haha, fuck
It's like, no.
Oh
I mean,
my
it was
God.
just
you. No.
Sad.
bad.
Sad that he didn't have a thought that things were happening. He didn't have any idea of what was going down. He didn't have any. He didn't understand that his actions meant anything.
Right.
And I always think the detectives or whoever they talked to, the inspectors, said it was so sloppy. The murder of Odin Lloyd was so sloppy. It's almost like he didn't want to get away with it.
Exactly.
Or it
Like he was trying to get caught.
spur of the moment, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
know,
So yeah, that was weird with his two court dates, with his two court situations. One of them, he was, he was locked up and he was trying to fight, and then he got, relieved of those two murders, and he was really upset about it, and then he died.
Yeah.
Like he killed himself.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And it's like he was upset about. Maybe it's because his appeal was out.
I think
That's what it was.
The
It was
way
his
it
appeal. That's
sounded
what it
like
was.
he wanted to commit suicide so that the conviction would be overturned, and maybe some of the money the Patriots owed him would go to
towards his family.
His
It
family
was like what,
or
40
his-
million?
Yep.
something like
Yeah.
that.
It's crazy.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
It
we
was
gotta move
wild.
on.
Yep.
Yes.
No, it's an interesting documentary,
Yep.
but it kind of bounces around, and you don't know what to take from it. You don't know what's true.
I kind of thought about watching it again just to catch anything that I
Yeah.
missed.
You want to take the time.
It's not too bad. Do you want to do the fan question?
Or do you want to do the football trivia?
Okay.
We were just talking about NFL.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, so
to cheer things up a little bit.
let's get off the sad
Depressing
subject.
Requiem for a Dream,
Absolutely.
and then Aaron Hernandez.
Did you, while you're getting that ready, Brett, did you guys see Rob Lowe when he was watching the football
He
game?
had an
Yes.
NFL
He had the
hat.
NFL hat. He was the only guy. He's got to be the only guy who owns an NFL shirt or NFL hat.
Yeah.
Like he's not branded to any team. He's just there to root for sports. He probably has a shirt. that says shirt.
Sports ball.
Do you have stuff, or did I just? do this?
Well, I mean, once you get to the start of the questions, I'm sure both
Juice,
of
if you have
it's
some
really
questions for
me.
Alex, seriously,
It's
like
because it's going to be funny.
Well,
since you know so much
you're
about.
gonna know these.
Yeah.
Well, it's mainly
We'll
just
see.
we're
Maybe
gonna
I
see.
won't.
You will probably know these.
We're gonna see if Alex can get. If we can just, what do you want to do? Everybody, try to
No,
guess.
No,
I
me
think
It's mainly
first.
Alex.
I think Alex. Yeah,
Me
you,
first.
you go.
It'll be Alex 1, Josh 2, and Juice 3.
Oh yeah, because Juice, you're pretty expert at this,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We'll see.
All right. What is a lateral?
Oh, I know this one. That's when you take the ball and you throw it laterally to a person to go forward.
Do you mean
What?
you can't say the word in the
It has
definition?
to be specific, specific direction in order for it to.
It has to go forward.
No.
Oh, it
That's
doesn't?
No. That's a forward pass.
No, I mean, like, you have to have the direction of going forward. Like, all right,
You
so
don't-
the quarterback gives it to my...
This is great.
Stop it. That's the whole point of this. All right, so football gets hiked to me, and I'm the quarterback. I throw it to my running back. Well, then I'm about to get tackled, so I'm a running back, and I throw it next to me. And then that person goes forward?
She's got the gist
she
of it.
understands.
It is an interesting
You can throw
rule
forward.
or,
You can throw
name
any-
because
Yes. 'Cause
she's thinking about it the way that
literally.
she's taking the
Yeah.
literal term.
Yeah.
So
right.
a lateral has to be in a backward direction. It
Oh,
can't,
not forward?
or sideways.
Wait.
It,
But a
it
lateral...
cannot go forward
Right.
at
This-
all.
You can go sideways.
But
Yeah,
a
you can.
lateral is like...
Mahomes
The,
did that.
yeah, literally, lateral is on its like side to side.
It's
Yeah,
just it's just a lot of the times they don't do they don't try to do a lateral that's directly next to them,
Right.
Because the
It
ref
could be seen
will
as a
see it as
forward
a
pass.
forward pass.
You ever heard of the
So that's
music-
why they usually try to keep
Then why is it
the
called
other
a back
person behind them.
pass?
It's not called a back pass. There's a
back
toss.
pass.
Or behind
It's
pass?
There's
like
a
a back pass
toss.
is like I think
Is there
something
one?
in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I think she's
but-
making it up at this point.
Okay.
There's run plays called like an HB toss, where the quarterback will literally toss.
Okay, please
the
don't
ball.
throw that in the mix because I have no idea. I have a half-back toss.
Yep, there you go.
Really?
Halfback toss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've called it. They've called it the half. I've never heard
Well, you know-
HB toss, Brett.
There's a
That's the name of the
There's
play.
a handoff where he puts it in his gut, or
Mhm.
there's can be a toss.
Normally, a halfback toss is a screen.
No.
No,
That
It's
went over your
usually-
head?
It's usually just like a one motion kind
No.
of toss. Like
You
there's
know
a
the
screen.
halfback
You'll
screen.
usually
Screen is an actual
yeah.
or throw to.
Oh, okay. So toss like whatever. Mahomes has done some weird stuff. Where
Oh,
he,
dude,
he'll do
he's
some,
throwing you off just because he's doing weird stuff with the football all the time.
no look pass.
Yeah.
He's
and
making
the
new
left-handed
stuff.
and the
or
left-handed
whatever.
crap. Well, he did that one. He was,
Left-handed crap.
he was falling down and he shifted to his
Yeah.
left hand and just.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you
so
call that? The
what's-
fall down left hand throw.
That's just
He
that's,
trains that.
that's just friggin' Mahomes being insane.
He's crazy. I can't wait to watch him in the Super Bowl.
Okay, what is zone coverage?
Zone coverage.
I'll get this.
So zone coverage, I have no idea, so I'm gonna make it up. Zone coverage. So zone is where the football is, and you're gonna have your.
Please go on.
Wait. No, the zone. The zone. I'm gonna change it. The zone is the goal line. The goal. The goal line.
Don't help on the chat.
You're thinking red zone. And
red
no,
zone,
you
okay.
have- no.
No.
Zone coverage. To have zone coverage. Zone is like the play, like where the ball's going, and you need to have proper coverage from your
Or, let me try it another way. Do you know what man coverage is?
one person against one person.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. There you go.
So on the defense, there's man coverage, which is when they cover each other one on one.
Yeah. So they line up and they're like
So what would
What would
zone,
you think
what would
zone
zone
coverage
coverage
is?
be?
opposite.
Okay, but
What is opposite? How can you have opposite? I'm not gonna watch this guy.
They're not. No, seriously. They're like so zone coverage is. You said they're
He
lined
actually
up.
turns his back to the
Nope.
wide receiver.
Nope.
So they're not
Not
lined
gonna look
up.
at him.
They're not lined up they're not lined up facing directly in front of each other. They're zigzag.
No, please.
I
Stop.
don't know what it is.
zone coverage
kinda
is
close, I
where they,
We all, the rest of us know this.
they have a certain area they're responsible for, so they don't leave
They
that
own a
area.
zone.
The
Yeah.
most popular one
That's-
is cover 2.
Correct.
You've probably heard him say that on the
So cover two people.
broadcast. No, cover 2. You're covering. There's
Two large areas.
yeah. The 2 safeties are covering 2 parts of the field.
So,
That's why this is
so
supposed to be
the
fun.
safeties don't let the receivers get behind them.
Yes.
I've had 3
Okay.
drinks. I might be buzzed at this point.
Okay, what's next?
No, I'm just loving
Alright.
this. This
This
is great.
Great stuff.
What is intentional grounding?
Ooh.
That is when the quarterback throws ball down intentionally.
Okay.
I know what that one
Close.
What do you mean close? That's what it is.
That's a penalty.
He does it. He doesn't want to do that. It's
I know,
it's-
but I know that's a penalty because
Okay.
I've heard them go intentional.
okay.
grounding.
But what is an intentional grounding that's not a penalty?
He accidentally throws it down
How do
before
you
he gets
intentionally
tackled.
ground without penalizing?
There's two.
They're
there's two
outside of the
forms.
tackle box.
Outside
Okay.
of the tackle box, and if he's spiking it to stop the clock.
Yep.
Well,
Because
no.
you've seen
You
him run
never
up there and
penalize
like
that.
and
Right.
spike the ball.
But it's
I hate that
technically
play.
intentionally
I hate
grounding.
that
It's
too.
Why do you hate that play?
I just don't like it. I think if
What-
you
what
can
don't
get
you
a
like?
spike in the ball, like I mean, I guess there's reasons for it, but most of the time my thought process is if you can run up there, you should have a play.
What if
and
you don't
should be
have
able to-
like?
I love
Yeah.
Joe Montana. Was it Joe Montana did the fake spike? Dan Marino, the
Yep.
fake spike. That was awesome. He would run up like they were going to spike the ball
He was
to
the
stop
first
the
one to
clock,
ever do
and
it.
he would fake it
The
like he was
Dol-
doing it, and then there was a guy
It
going
was
deep, and
against
he
the-
threw it to the guy.
I think it was the Jets. Well, they
It was
were on
awesome.
like the 5 or something. They
Yeah.
were right at
Yeah.
That's so deep.
Well, fade. Sorry, fade.
Okay,
Fade
you know,
pass.
he's walking up there saying, I'm going to spike it, I'm going to spike it. And he fakes the spike and he chucks it to the guy in the end zone. The Jets had no idea. They weren't even looking.
Who would have an idea if no one has done it before?
Exactly. And
Original
I think-
plays don't happen these
I think
days.
Peyton Manning did it.
Yeah,
Did it
he's
too.
done it before.
Oh, did you guys hear about the Saints?
No.
Saints owner
What?
No.
Patrick sent me a message that the Saints owner is actually in a lawsuit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
I'm sorry, sidebar.
Bound to hate.
Saints seek to prevent release emails related to Catholic abuse crisis.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
God.
boy.
Ooh, boy. Any reason to hate
Okay.
the Saints even more? Shout out to Patrick, by the way. Thanks for those
Okay.
messages.
Next.
How many yards is a penalty for holding?
Holding. I hear them say it all the time because holding's common.
It is very common.
It's
It shouldn't be
holding
this
is an
many
automatic
yards
first down with 10.
Yeah. She said 10.
Well, it's not an
It's
automatic,
not an automatic first down.
That would
You're
be-
thinking of defensive holding.
I meant offensive holding.
That-
I didn't
But
know
you
there
got,
was-
you
I
got it
didn't know
right
there
with
was
the 10
both.
yards. You got
So-
it right with the 10 yards.
Yeah.
Well, it's way less common to get a defensive holding penalty than
Right.
an offensive
It
holding
should be
penalty.
5 yards, in my opinion.
I think so, too.
Okay, but I'm all right. I'm half right.
It's a 10 yards. Do you know false start how many yards? Do you know
5?
what a false start is?
Yeah, it's when they false start.
You can't say
that. Just a
When
word.
they do this,
No.
or they hike the ball.
Oh, that's,
Yep,
yeah, that's
okay.
pretty good.
Thank
Like-
Close,
you.
yep. That's
Who
right.
does?
That's
Who
right.
does?
That's
Who does?
almost
It's
exactly
a
right.
false start.
Who does?
This side.
The offense.
The left side of the field.
Can't fill in the gaps for you.
Anytime you're on the right side of the field, it never happens.
I'm watching
But you're
TV.
seeing it from, she's making a good point.
Oh my
She's
God,
seeing it from
Alex.
this side.
I'm watching TV in my head. This side.
This is
The
brilliant.
one that doesn't have the ball.
All
I need
right.
another drink.
This one, I'm gonna ask this one. There's no chance you get this. I think actually the next 3, I don't think you'll get this.
Okay.
I'm happy you did this, Brett.
Yes, thank
But
you.
what does nickel defense mean?
To be honest, I don't even know.
I don't even know that.
I know
no.
that.
I don't know
I
what this
kind
is.
of know,
Means that
but I don't really
they
know.
put in their 5 cents because they suck. I don't know.
What are you saying, Brett?
So a nickel defense is I
An
should
additional-
have clarified in a 4-3 defense, which is 4 down linemen
Yep.
and 3 linebackers.
Okay.
A nickel defense is they take out one of the linebackers
And coverage
bring
guy.
in another cornerback. So if
you lost
there's
me at
like-
change there.
There's like 3 wide receivers.
Okay.
You don't
Because
want
there's also a dime package as well.
Exactly.
See, I don't
that's-
even know that.
1 linebacker and 4 cornerbacks. And the reason why they do that is they can't have a linebacker matched up with a wide receiver because
Do you
he'll
need to take
torch
that
him.
juice?
No.
He'll torch
Okay.
him.
I'm listening.
So
Okay.
do you feel me?
Half.
Okay.
Sure,
What's
I-
the problem?
I don't know all the positions.
Linebacker's the guy that tackles people most of the time.
Linebackers are
Okay.
in the middle of the field. The
Yeah.
linemen are down.
Coverage
you know,
people
in
are
the
We know
mostly
linemen.
covering
Yeah.
the,
and the safeties
receivers.
I don't know what a
Way back.
safety is.
They're the guys in the 2
Are
guys.
these the
in
guys
back.
running back and forth in the back?
Yeah.
You're
Probably.
Okay.
They're the deepest.
Like they're the guys
part
that are
of the
like, huh,
defense.
and they like, and then they go
I
hike,
don't-
and then
I
they
don't
go and
think
they
they
run.
go
No,
Da-da-da-da.
that's receivers are
they
running
don't
back.
say that.
Okay.
It's the opposite side of the
Oh, the
field.
opposite side. Of
It's
the
like
field.
on Emperor's New Groove when Crunk has his own theme music.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's a great movie.
We
I'm
need to
going to
have-
watch that tonight. I'm going to
Justin-
go home and watch
Justin,
it.
can you make it a weekly visit? We can have you on at all times.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
Juice, you'll know this. Josh, you might know this.
I won't.
What? Okay, so
That
I'll
is
break this
accurate.
up maybe to make this a little easier. What is a spy?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's somebody who spies.
Yeah.
They're a
Exactly.
A player will spy. What do you think he's spying?
So he's watching where, well, everybody's watching where the ball goes, but like, so a spy is someone who's watching where the quarterback's going to throw the ball.
Correct.
Wow.
For the most part.
Yeah, that's
My
pretty close. I think
God.
she's been close on almost all of them.
A spy's responsibility is to watch one player,
Yep.
and they're responsible for that player.
Except for the
Oh,
nickel
okay.
dime back things here. There's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
We don't know those.
That's just gonna go out the window. I don't care.
I
about
couldn't
that.
remember how
well,
many
I got
players were switched
a
out.
quick story about the nickel thing and how I knew or how I learned. So, Ty Detmer was Brett Favre's backup in his early years in Green Bay, and he's told a story about how Mike Holmgren was watching film with Brett, and he's like, "Look, the defense is bringing in the nickel package," and Brett leans over to Ty, and he's like, "Ty, what's it mean when they say nickel?" He's a professional quarterback. And he's like, "You're kidding, right?" He's like, "No, what is he talking about?" He's like, "That's when they take out one of the linebackers and bring in another cornerback." And he's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, who cares?"
That's exactly what's going through my mind. I was like, I don't care what it is.
I love Brett
So
Favre.
throw
He's
it in.
awesome.
Great.
All right, last one.
So
It's funny that Brett Favre has that's actually an interesting story.
Yeah.
that's-
So
He should have his own reality show.
he should be a podcaster.
interesting thing about a spy is I don't remember what game, but some defense attempted to have a spy on Lamar Jackson, and he just torched him.
Yeah. Well, and they've tried to spy Mahomes, but
Yeah.
then that just leaves the receiver open.
No way. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
Mahomes
the
has
Chiefs
like
just can beat you in so
He'll
many
just-
ways.
he'll
It's
just
he's got
crazy.
find
peripherals like no one
Yeah.
else.
As big a fan of Brett Favre as I am, Mahomes made a throw last year that I could not believe.
Yeah.
Was that the one that he was trying to show Brett Favre?
He was rolling out to his right, and he throws just with his arm, almost as he's falling down, throws completely back to the left,
Which
Yeah.
is
All the way
not what
across
you
the
should
Cross
do
body.
ever.
Yep.
crossbody, and hits his receiver like 50 yards downfield. I could not believe it,
He's amazing.
and I saw it real time too. So
Go Chiefs.
That's best when you actually see things like punt blocks and stuff in real time and like
Yes.
amazing
It's
catches like
exciting.
that. It's the Minneapolis Miracle, that was
Yep.
real
all
exciting.
right, we got one more,
Okay.
and then I have 3 trivia questions.
All
Holy
right.
cow, okay.
So, where is the A gap?
You're funny.
Dat gap though.
So the team is lined up in the shape of an A, and where the legs of the A are, that's the gap.
Josh, do you know this?
No.
Juice?
Yeah. It's between the center and the guard.
Correct. There's 2 A gaps, 2
What
B
is
gaps.
what's a center and a guard? I'm gonna guess the
guy that
center is the
hikes
guy
the
right.
ball.
Oh, that's the center. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what
The
really?
guards are right next to the center, so you have center, a guard on each side.
We need
Yeah.
we need a drawing.
And then
I'm going to get a telestrator and start writing it up there for you guys.
tackles,
we can do that.
The tackles are
Circle.
I got
off the
Photoshop.
sides of the guards. So
Okay.
yeah, the A gap, the B gap, and then if you have tight ends, the C gap is between the tight end and the tackle.
Juice, I'm belching over here too.
I'm trying to like blow it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Away
It's all
from
right.
Brett.
I left the door a little open so we got some airflow
Yeah.
coming in.
Okay.
Ventilation here.
All right.
A little bit.
So-
Maybe open the window.
So I know a little bit more than.
Your trivia, you're not
pretty
too
close, to be honest.
bad.
All right.
Some of the stuff you knew that I didn't, like
You
the
got
spy.
the spy. That
Never
was
knew
pretty
that.
good.
I just took a guess. Okay.
Let's just say you knew it.
Okay, 3 trivia questions. These are from the storylines of this year.
Okay.
And I know you paid more attention this year than ever before.
That doesn't mean
so-
I pay attention to story.
Well,
Just-
newsworthy items.
Just ask.
Go
me.
ahead.
All right. What team did Tennessee Titans coach Mike Vrabel play for before he was a coach?
I don't know. The Bears.
Cardinals.
Think about his playoff matchups and why it was a big deal that he won.
Oh, did he play for the Chiefs?
No.
Oh.
And the fact that
'Cause he lost to the
that he took 3 penalties to run off, I think a minute and 30 seconds off the clock.
Which
Who
his,
else? What other coach would do
His
something
coach
like that?
would do that.
I don't know.
The Patriots.
Juice,
Patriots.
Okay. So my football knowledge is the Vikings
Yep.
and some of the Chiefs and maybe some players on fantasy, like entirely.
Yep, that's about me.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff ends up in headlines and in social media, so I think
Right.
Okay.
you
Well,
may have
either
seen
way,
it,
it's a good refresh.
I got Sports
and you
Center
knew
on.
that.
Yeah.
What did OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., give to Tom Brady when the Browns played the Patriots?
The winning football.
I like your confidence though. Right out
I
the
actually
gate.
felt pretty
The winning
confident.
football.
He got severely criticized for this too.
The
The
finger.
No, not
That's good. That's good that you guys are in sync on that
Oh,
one. I
I
like
mean,
that.
17 years together, we're going to eventually say things together like that. Definitely, I would have thought he would have. Why are you hitting me?
Do I get to answer as well?
Sure.
Do you know this?
Yeah.
Okay.
He gave him his jersey.
Oh,
No,
okay.
No.
No?
Gloves?
He might have, but it wasn't that. No.
What?
What did he give him?
Shoes?
Shoes.
Oh yeah, the goat shoes. I'm sorry.
Why would he give him shoes?
He
He
gave
had
him
them
shoes.
specially made out of goat hair for greatest of all time.
Yep.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't believe I
And
forgot that.
He got just one podcast I listen. You know who Mark Schlereth is?
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to his podcast. He's like, I hope Tom took those shoes and threw them right in the garbage as soon as he got into the locker room.
Do you think he would have?
I would have kept them. Screw that. That's awesome.
It's just kind of weird.
Greatest
Remember
of all
that
time.
episode of that 70s show where Bob gives Red the pair
The
of
shoes,
Yes.
right? You don't give a guy, and he knew you don't give a guy shoes. He knew it was weird.
Yeah.
He's kind of. I love that
so,
show.
I mean, I'm sure they were expensive. He had them specially made. They're
Yep.
made of goat hair. Who cares?
Uh-huh.
Last question.
Okay.
What AFC quarterback surprisingly retired this past offseason?
What quarterback?
Yeah, from the AFC.
Yes, we
I
just
don't
talked
even
about this.
remember. Okay, I don't
People
even know.
retiring early.
We just talked about this like 2 nights
Is
ago.
is especially a big deal somewhat locally.
Yes.
Oh, we just talked about this. I know you just said that, but like
What did I just?
it was you were somebody from the Texans.
No.
I love
Please,
this.
Alex.
This is probably one of my favorite
This is
things
amazing.
of all time.
I don't remember. I just remember you
Do you know
saying
John?
about
Eli.
Eli Manning.
No.
Nope,
no.
he just
He
retired.
just retired
But
last
hey,
Friday.
That's a good job,
yesterday.
Yes.
He did retire though. Yesterday.
though. And he was
Off
100.
season.
And he was 117 and 117.
Yes,
The most
it's
Eli thing of all
500.
time.
Off season before the season.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Okay,
sorry,
but what
that's
is it?
what I
I
meant.
don't remember.
Prior to the season
Do
starting.
you know? Think
Oh, God.
one of you? I mean,
Yes.
He was the
yes.
one that
There's
brought
a
it
huge
up.
deal for Indiana.
I got it. Andrew Luck.
There you go.
God.
That's right. That's right. I remember that.
Alex
now.
threw me way off.
And he's going to play for the XFL. I'm just kidding, but that
Oh
would be
my
hilarious.
Are you going to watch it?
I'm going to watch
I'm going
it.
to try it.
What's
And
interesting
I'm going to bet
about
on it, too, because it's
what's-
going to be easy to bet on it after the
sure.
first couple weeks.
Oh.
Really?
Because you're going to know who
Are you
the
betting
good
whether or not
teams-
it survives in an actual league? Or?
You're just going to know what teams are good and which ones are bad really quickly. And
How many
it'll-
are there? Are there
like-
8?
There's
Yeah.
8 teams, yeah.
And
And they're all
it'll be-
southern states, too.
Sure.
Nothing around
You
us.
need big markets for
I
We
wish
have to
they
s-
would. I wish they
oh.
would have put one in Indianapolis.
Well-
I would have bought season tickets.
Well, there's St. Louis,
Yeah.
so we got them.
Yeah, I don't want to drive to St. Louis though.
No, but we can at least root for them. I mean, who you rooting for?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't
actually.
even know the teams,
Whoever,
really,
whoever got that Ohio State quarterback, Cardale Jones, I'm gonna root for them just because his name is Shotgun. Or no, it's what is it? I think it's Shotgun. I don't know, but either way, I
Cardale
think-
Jones.
Yeah,
I'm looking him up.
he played for Ohio State. He was a stud, but not good enough to make it in the NFL.
He's playing for DC,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna root for them.
What's interesting about
the
Eli
Defenders.
is that his career record is 500. He's thrown a lot of interceptions, not more than touchdowns, but his 2 Super Bowl wins are far more impressive than Peyton's
Yes,
2 Super Bowl wins.
100%.
Oh, they both won too?
Yeah, they
Yep.
both
Okay,
won 2.
then it's not awkward for them at the Thanksgiving
Well,
table anymore.
and Eli's first one was beating the undefeated Patriots.
Yeah, it was
which
awesome.
Probably
Oh
gets
my
him
God,
into
it
the
was
Hall
so
of
great.
Fame just for that.
Juice, you hate the Patriots so hard. And I do too. It's
I
okay.
do, but I respect them.
You're with friends here,
Yeah.
so.
I do, but I respect them. I respect that they're very good, but I hate them.
We
hate
are
the
at
Patriots.
an hour and a half.
That's okay.
Okay.
So-
Well, do you want to save the weekly fan question for our next show?
Sure.
Just because we can probably get
We
some
got
more.
plenty of original content.
Yes.
To still get
Because
through.
I've got millennial slang that
and
I would
I've got
love
either
to.
or.
Yeah.
How about let's finish up with those 2 things.
All right.
Yeah, and then
Cool.
we'll go to the post show here, guys. Which, by the way, if you are watching on YouTube, exclusive post show
I'm gonna
going
die.
on. It's gonna be this.
Juice and I are gonna die.
Yeah, we're doing the toe of Satan. I
Ugh.
don't know. We haven't even told anybody this.
Why'd they pick the toe? That's kind of a gross.
Oh, I mean, if
part.
you look at it, it looks like
It looks like a toe.
toe.
Because people like
It looks like
doing
Satan's
that.
toe.
You
Should've
guys,
done,
you guys have a
like-
foot fetish?
they should have done like the middle finger of Satan.
9 million Scoville.
That would have been better, right? The middle,
That's-
the middle finger.
That's
of Satan.
higher than the
Yeah.
chicken wings that I did
The finger of Satan.
Well, we'll
Middle
see.
finger.
by a lot.
It's like
Imagine shoving that.
middle finger. Like, the middle finger is like fu, you know,
No, I'm saying
because I'm Satan. And
you got some orifices.
How do we get on orifices?
Well, I'm saying
God.
this is
You
in
know
a
how like
cylindrical
you know how
form.
we love that 70s show. You know how
Just look at it.
Red's foot up the ass like scenario.
I suppose.
This is a toe.
That's a toe.
This is Red's toe. It's a red.
Are we
Do you
doing?
think you'd taste it?
Maybe.
Are we
You'll
doing
definitely
either
feel it.
or millennial slang? Which one's
Millennial
It
first?
doesn't
slang.
matter to me. Whatever you
I've
want to go
got
first.
millennial slang up and ready
Go.
to go.
Okay, so
Nice.
Alex, you want to explain millennial slang?
All right, millennial slang is basically what we just did with football, but for the guys. So I take slang that is common nowadays and basically just read it off and see if anybody can guess what it is.
All right.
Just because we don't use it very
Slang
often.
sucks
Yes, it
nowadays.
It does.
I'm
it
getting
does.
old, I guess. But
Oh, we know this.
All
We're all
right.
getting old.
I'm going to do just a few of them. All right, Brett, just because you're great at these. GMT.
What?
G, M is in Mary.
I usually know these, and I don't know if I know.
Grab my tits.
That's a good one.
I love it. Thank you, Brett.
Dude, that is not it.
Well, maybe it should be.
Give me time.
There you go.
Ooh.
That's a good guess.
Good job. I suck at these if you guys
Was
know
it?
these.
Was it? Give me time.
No.
Oh.
No. She'll say like, "Oh, you got it."
it.
If you can't guess, just then you.
No, it's used in a text message, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't say GMT, man.
Oh, it's.
Wait,
it
or
is?
maybe you do. I don't know. But it's used,
in text.
It's used in a text message.
Okay.
GMT.
Okay.
You'll never get it. Just so
Something
you know.
about texting though, like texting is the last
Nope.
word. Nope. All right.
Nope. Okay. All right. So you're all wrong. So it stands for getting me tight, but tight means upset.
Oh,
Okay, wait a minute. I was gonna
That's
say,
why
how do you do this?
That's why I had to say it. So getting me tight. So just like GMT, like stop texting me or getting me tight, getting me upset.
People, dude, kids
Yeah,
suck.
I know, right? Right, that's the one I'm upset about. It's GMTing me.
And just saying weird stuff like,
Getting me tight.
Yes, like tight wound up.
Wasn't
like,
there a slang for making me upset already?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know. I've
Turnt?
no, that's like your
Turn
party
is
is
like-
wild
like,
and you're having a
woo,
great time.
Yeah, like this party.
I'm very
We're about
happy
to
you
get
just
It's
said
like
that.
it's like lit.
Turn up, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Okay, what is a whip?
A whip is a car.
Yeah.
What?
It's a car.
They got it.
Yeah, you're whipping your
I would argue that's not even
whip.
millennial.
I
Wait
think
a
whip
second.
is a
Where
little
is
bit
this coming
older
from?
because
Yeah.
I called my car my whip when I was in like high school.
I've
What?
never heard of it called a
I've
whip.
never
'Cause-
heard this before.
No. Good job. You guys got a point.
How do you
actually.
guys have
Yeah.
that?
Because I had a Chevy baby blue Chevy Lumina '97 with 100 spoke Daytons on it.
You had a Lumina? Nice.
It was beautiful, and I had a Sony Explode sound system, and it was
Nice.
it was about as ghetto as you
I
could
had
get.
Sony
It was cool.
Explodes in my '93 Cavalier.
I keep telling Jen I'm gonna put subs in my truck.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
I want to see what a Chevy Lumina looks like. In 97
It was
blue.
4 doors. Yeah, that's it right
Oh.
there. That's it. Just
Oh.
imagine it with type in 100 spoke rims.
Really?
100 spoke rim.
Yeah, with
While
that.
you're looking that
Yep.
up, next one is chill.
So that's
Which one?
so those wheels,
That?
and they were on the baby blue Lumina, and they
Oh
were
my
20-inch
God.
wheels when 20-inch wheels was really
Did
big.
you do that on purpose?
Oh yeah.
This is was it this one? Like this?
Yep.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
I think everybody had this car in the
I think so
in
too.
the mid 2000s, like for real.
Dude,
Yes.
it was awesome. It
Everybody.
lasted forever.
I'm gonna show this
It
on
was
our
beautiful.
Chill.
Chill.
So it's not just like chill, like cool down or
So
like,
it
take it
does
easy?
mean that, but there is a new meaning.
are you? Is it like the
Yeah, it
end of
is.
Netflix and chill?
Nope.
bone.
Like that's okay. That's chill.
I don't know. What else could it mean?
Josh?
I'm gonna say that they are sleeping.
No. Okay, so it is an adjective to describe someone who is cool or good to hang with.
Oh yeah.
Like she's chill.
She's
like
all chill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I still
cool to
hate
hang
that
out
I
part,
with.
did.
yeah.
So it's an adjective, not a verb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still hate it when I hear people say that too. I have heard people say that. Oh, they're chill.
It's
Yeah.
like, what does that even? What do you mean?
So I found out today that this word actually means two things.
Okay.
Because I'm used to hearing it on a British show that I watch, and it means
Downton Abbey.
Nope. I watch Love Island UK.
Love Island.
Yeah. So fit, and fit in British term means like she's hot, she's amazing, she's top notch. That's what fit means, but that is not what it means in America.
America.
Fit.
Yep, fit. It's a newer.
Is it an
millennial slang.
acronym?
No.
Okay.
Like I could no. If I say it in a sentence, you'll get it. So.
I think does it mean hot?
Yeah, you said that for the UK version. It means that.
I said it
I
means
say-
something different in
Yeah.
America.
It
It's
means
a-
it's literal. Like maybe they're not hot, but they're in good physical condition.
That's very standard, Brett. That's
Very-
exactly
I'm
what.
taking it literally.
That's the
Okay.
literal term.
Outfit that fits hot.
He's actually like really like he kind of got it. Yeah. So it's short for outfit.
Oh,
But
Oh, okay.
it's
He did
it's
get
talking
it.
about an amazing outfit like Josh, that PTO Limited podcast shirt that's a great fit
actually,
for you.
this is retro now. This is
Yeah,
our
it
old
is.
logo.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. So it's like
That was close.
It's
Close enough.
an amazing outfit, and you don't
I'd
say
give me a
outfit, you
point.
say that's a great fit.
Check off for Juice. He gets one.
Go off.
Go off.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's something you tell somebody. Go off.
That's like go fuck yourself.
Yes.
It's actually
Uh,
nope.
That's that's like they're about to do something really awesome. Like they're about to go off.
Close. Josh?
He agreed with me.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, you're close. So far, Juice is getting a lot of these.
Dude.
So go off is
Because
what.
I'm in the streets, guys.
He's
every
so hip.
day.
I mean,
Yes.
he's doing stand up and he's,
So-
he's
with a lot of younger people than me.
yeah.
So go off is used a couple different ways. It's to encourage a choice or support of a rant. So if, like, for instance, like, let's just say my best friend's ranting about her ex for 5 minutes, and she looks at me and I'm like, go off, like, continue your rant.
Yeah.
Or you can say to encourage somebody or support somebody. So meaning like you just like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Like, oh, go off. Like, go on, go do it.
Yes,
like, that's what I
queen.
mean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. All right, let's do one more.
Okay, good. Because then I have to use the restroom again. I broke the seal. Wait.
SZN. It is what you would type for people in a text or in, shorthand or whatever.
SZN.
ZN.
This is an acronym.
It doesn't. No, it's not
Two-
an acronym. It
two
doesn't
S's?
stand for anything. SZN as in Nancy.
It's like season, like Shacker season.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So season.
Okay,
but
good.
what does it mean? Season. Not like it's fall.
A season of a TV show.
No.
I would say that they look good, so you're looking seasoned.
What is wrong with the dog?
She's coughing. It's
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
Season. So like it's a specific like I always feel like it's always put after something like it's Girls on Game Day season, like because I follow Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
short
actually,
season.
So yeah, so Juice pretty much has it right, but it usually refers to the astrological calendar. So it's Leo season, it's Aquarius season. Oh man, I'm gonna love it when
Go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I gotta go use the restroom.
I'm
I
gonna
broke
love
the
it when
seal.
this season's over. So that's what it means. But I guess I would use it in that sense.
Yeah,
like,
people
oh,
do
it's
that.
short season.
I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Before either or, I'm gonna do just a really quick thing that I saw. Netflix came out and said that they have a new standard for how they count things as being watched, and
You mean binged?
no.
Oh, okay.
Usually they said in order for something to consider being watched, the customer has to have seen half of it. They have changed that so that it counts as a watch if the customer has watched 2 minutes of it.
A bull.
And I'm like, so
Nope.
you're inflating your watch numbers,
Yes.
basically.
Well, and what's funny is Anchor, the podcast app that I use to upload our episodes, they changed their model from a download to listens, and a listen, somebody has to listen to your show for 5 minutes or greater.
Okay.
And so it tanked all of my numbers because
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that just, I think, download and don't listen because
Sure.
they support the show, but
Yeah.
they like don't have time to do it. And now it's like way less. And I'm
Oh,
like, whatever.
that's stupid.
And it sucks for like advertising too.
yeah.
2 minutes, think about The Irishman. That's over a 3.5 hour movie, and somebody watched 2 minutes and it counts as a
It will
watch.
definitely inflate their numbers, but also at the same time, isn't Netflix like super protective of their numbers? They don't really actually release any of their figures on how much
They,
stuff is
they
streamed.
never give numbers. They just say what's high in the what's gotten a lot of
In the
plays, or
queue.
what's leading in among streaming services and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to
ready?
move on to either or?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So you want to message your sister?
I already did.
Okay, because at this point she might as well head over and then.
Who's gonna let her in?
Me?
Well, when we
We have a
when
BRB
Yeah,
screen.
we have a BRB screen.
Yeah.
But
'cause
what if she gets here before we're done?
people are gonna message her? Did you tell her not to ring the doorbell?
She said she'll just leave when she sees us doing our plugs.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, okay.
She's down the street. So.
Yeah.
Either or. I should explain this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either or is I give you two options, and they can be very similar or very different, and you choose one and didn't say why.
Right.
It's one of my originals.
Yeah.
Fruit snack or gummies?
Depends on the gummy, Brett. You can't do that.
Gotta pick. Gotta.
Fruit
I like
snacks.
fruit snacks.
I'm
so
going to say
too.
fruit
I was
snack.
just thinking of Mom's fruit snacks, the Welshes that are in the cabinet. I'm like, man, I want to go grab a handful
love
of
those,
those.
yeah.
I think there's a much wider variety of fruit snacks versus gummies.
The
Yeah.
dinosaurs and the sharks, man.
See, I
Dinosaurs and sharks.
That
My
was it.
gosh.
I like Gushers.
Oh,
Does
gosh,
that,
those
is
are
that
That's
good.
considered
not
a
a fruit
fruit?
snack.
That's not a fruit snack.
It is
That's
a fruit
candy.
I would
snack.
consider that a fruit
it's,
snack.
It's
That's
in the
candy.
fruit snack section.
That's like a fruit roll-up. That's not a fruit snack.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
fruit roll-up is also a fruit snack.
Wait,
Josh,
are you confused about what a fruit snack is?
No, I'm not. Let me
Candy?
tell you something here.
candy.
It should be candy because you have no idea how much sugar's in that stuff.
Yeah.
But it is a fruit snack. It's in
No,
the same
that is not a fruit snack.
it is in the same freaking
That
aisle,
doesn't
Alex.
matter.
It does matter.
It's in
telling
the
you.
snack aisle, not the
Spoken
fruit
by
snack.
someone who's never worked retail.
You freaking stop it, Alex. Juice, you worked retail, right?
Yeah, a short amount of time.
Yeah.
It's Sears. That was the
Sears.
easiest job of all
I love how
time.
you said that. It was serious.
It was
nothing.
so boring, and I got taught a trick by a guy, which is if you see people walking by with their item, ring them up because you'll get that commission, like whatever percentage of it is. And he was like, always if you see somebody walking with shoes, dude, because it's 40%. Like he told me that, and I would run out. I've worked in the lawn and garden area.
Well, here's the thing with that commission, though. I think that's the reason why Sears probably went out of business.
Oh, yeah.
Is because that's how it drove its business
Yep.
model.
Just real quick, what's your favorite gummy?
I have to say Gushers.
dude, the Starburst minis
Oh, wait, you're talking about candy.
are the best
Starburst.
of all time.
Starburst gummies are pretty good.
As far as excuse me, as far as gummies go, I like Haribo.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
the organic Black Forest
Yeah,
bears.
those are good too.
Organic is really good, man. Oh, my gosh. I go for that all the
I
time.
hate gummy
I'm not
bears.
huge
What
into
about-
gummies, so.
What about
Why?
Swedish
I don't know. I
fish?
just
Fine, gummy worms.
Like I just
Ew.
I want to
No,
throw
Swedish
up
fish are
thinking
good.
about
Yes,
Swedish.
I
fish.
like Swedish
nasty.
fish.
No, you
I do
guys
too.
are gross.
They're waxy looking.
It's cherry.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
cherry.
like candle wax.
They do have a very strange texture.
It
It's
looks
like-
like,
yeah.
they've been sitting on the shelf for 19 years, and
Yes.
they probably have.
It's because
And
no
that's
one buys
probably-
them.
It's almost like they have a film on
But
them.
you know what? I like them.
No, it's disgusting.
Swedish fish.
Okay.
Cheez-Its or goldfish?
Goldfish.
Goldfish.
Bah.
Oh, wait, hold on. The extra toasty Cheez-Its are really good.
Yeah.
I like
Originals.
toasted.
That's the originals.
The white cheddar Cheez-Its are really good.
Yep. All right.
I know.
I used to do the
Goldfish.
Cheez-Its Twist-Its. They taste like mac and cheese. They were really good.
That
Do
sounds
you remember those?
terrible.
Okay, so no, back in the mid 2000s, I'm gonna sound old now. They were doing a lot of food combinations that were like weird. Like
Oh,
Cheez-Its
yeah.
did some weird stuff. Sprite did some weird stuff. The soda companies did some weird stuff. There were some weird things that happened in the mid 2000s. They don't really experiment these days anymore.
They know what works.
Except,
Yeah.
you know, have you guys seen the cinnamon Coke?
Ugh, no.
No,
No!
that sounds
Get
disgusting.
out of here with
Terrible.
that.
I didn't make it.
You know what we have to try next month?
Cinnamon Coke?
No,
No, the Mountain
the new Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah.
Like
What is it?
Pineapple.
Oh,
Sounds
Yeah.
I
terrible.
love pineapple,
Yeah.
I do like. I mean, I'm one of those pineapple on pizza. Like I'm
You are?
I'm all in. Yeah.
bro.
All in
That's
on
what's
that.
up. Fist bump.
Fruit by the foot or fruit roll up?
Ooh, fruit roll up.
What am I trying to do here? Am I trying to make the grill out of the fruit?
Do I need to
roll-up?
suck
Oh
on my
my
finger?
god, I forgot about that. I used to do that all
Did
the
you
time.
do the fruit roll up around the finger and suck
Or
on
that?
it?
Yeah.
No,
kinda-
but
No, I did what
did.
Juice did. You make like the fake grill. You roll it up and put it against your teeth and smile.
Are you serious
Yes,
about this?
that's just awesome. I can't believe that you've done that. That's cool. I've
Yep,
totally
I did
like
that
that
all
brought
the
me
time.
back.
See,
But also, like I've said this 100 times, my family was not cool. We never had fruit roll-ups. Like
stuff?
so, like when I would go to like friends'
they on
houses,
sale?
I would go nuts. I would be like, "Oh, give me all the fruit roll-ups. Give me all
Yes.
the Pop Tarts.
Yes.
Feed it to me."
Pop Tarts were great.
I would take a fruit roll up, wad it up into a ball, and stick it like it's
And
a
then
Like
Shaw.
Ed, Ed Netty?
Yes.
Ed, Ed Netty with the jawbreakers?
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, so
It was like a
fruit
dip.
roll-up.
He'd have a
Wad
dip
of dip.
spitter.
What is wrong
Fruit
with you,
roll-up.
Brett?
Jello or pudding?
Pudding.
100%. Jello's gross.
Jello's good for drinking with
No,
as
I
in
still-
Jello shots.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
do that.
I still don't like taking Jello shots.
Oh,
Get
man.
out of town.
If
Mine
you
are
get,
great.
If you get a really bad one though,
Oh, juice, I make them strong. I'm talking like Everclear.
which I'm okay with that. I'm fine. But I'm just saying other people may not like.
Yeah, they can't handle.
I can't.
John Wick or The Matrix?
John Wick.
The Matrix all day. The Matrix is like my favorite movie. Whenever anybody asks me what my favorite movie is, that's the first thing that pops in my head every
I'm
time.
able to understand John Wick a little more.
I get that.
Get out of here. Okay, no, stop with that, Alex. You and understanding things, you gotta
Shut up.
take that with a grain of salt.
But it's the first Matrix. Like the
Correct.
other two,
The first
not
entry
as
in
good in
both-
my opinion.
both
But the
series.
very
well,
first
Brett's
one.
never seen the sequels.
I haven't.
Of the Matrix?
No.
Good. You don't need to. It's really like, I mean, it would just
You have an
waste
issue
your
with
time.
them?
No, I just didn't like them as much as the first one.
As a
It's-
kid, I
it's,
liked
It's
them.
almost like they decided, hey, we want to do kung fu. We don't want to deal with guns anymore.
And the CGI is terrible.
Yeah.
Did you pick?
No, I can't. I'm gonna say I'm disappointed in the John Wick series because they are all just okay. No, the first one was on its own pretty good. The second one had a good ending to make you want to watch the third. The third's ending terrible,
I loved it.
terrible.
I'm trying to even remember.
Whatever.
He
you're
fell
with.
off the building.
He basically
Spoiler alert.
His friend betrayed him. Ian McShane's character betrayed him and
Spoiler
How do I
alert.
not remember that?
He
shot
fell
him
because it was
straight off
terrible.
a
That's why you don't
roof of
remember
a
it.
I
hotel.
blocked it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he gets pulled into like the gutter where Lawrence Fishburne's character is.
yeah.
I hate
Just
it.
spoiled John Wick
Awful.
3 for
They're
everybody.
gonna,
We just
they're gonna
spoiled
make
all of
another
3.
one though.
Oh,
so
they're
it's
gonna-
It's
fine.
fine.
As long as Keanu Reeves can do it, they're just gonna keep.
Keanu
making
Reeves-
He runs so weird.
Keanu Reeves and doing the Matrix 4. Okay, so I'm gonna say Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coke Zero Sugar or Pepsi Max?
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero
I agree.
Neither.
Coke Zero
has more formaldehyde.
Neither.
You can't say neither, Alex.
I don't think I've tried either one.
You can drink. Yes, you've tried Coke Zero if you lived with me.
I don't drink a lot of pop.
I-
Me neither.
yeah, I was
but
like-
that's what I have with rum and
Coke
Coke.
Zero
I
is
would have
very
a
good.
straight Coke or a straight Pepsi. So there you go.
Lamps or overhead lighting?
Overhead.
Lamps.
Overhead.
I wish we had
I
overhead
agree.
here.
So-
Yeah, Juice looked up like, do we have that? No.
In my apartment, there's overhead in the bathroom and the kitchen, and the rest of the rooms, which there's only 2 more, are not there.
One thing I want to add on that.
Yeah.
Fan. I want a fan in every room.
Every room
Yes,
has a fan.
every
Like a ceiling
room.
fan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ceiling fan. Yeah.
When we get a house, Alex, our
Even
dream
in
house,
Every room's gonna
every
have a
room has a
fan.
ceiling fan.
Even in the
Mhm.
kitchen?
Absolutely.
I
You know,
don't know
well,
about the
okay, so
kitchen.
Alex doesn't cry during cutting onions because she
We turn
learned
the fan on.
fans work.
Yeah.
The stove, you mean?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah, I
fan.
wouldn't have a ceiling fan in the living room or the
Kitchen.
Well, it's because you have one over the stove that
Right,
works
yeah.
just fine.
I agree. I would prefer overhead lighting, but
What? And to add to that, overhead lighting, I like can lights that
recessed.
are recessed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the shadows. I'm all about
I
shadow
want
work.
so-
no lighting fixtures.
Right.
Filtered water from the tap or bottled water?
Doesn't matter.
They're
Water.
the same.
So matters.
They are the same.
Doesn't matter. Just
Depends
not well.
on the water bottle.
Not Dasani. Get out of here.
If it's like Fiji, I'm good.
So that's like
Smart water.
Voss,
mineral water.
Yeah, it's good.
Smart water's good.
Smart water is
That's
good.
my
I
fave.
drank out of the hose. I don't
I
care.
did too.
I agree, but that's well water.
But also, once
No,
again,
it's
I don't
not. I
care
did not
either.
live
Like,
in the. I lived
It's
in the
not well
city.
water. My hose was well water.
You
Yes.
know
Have
what?
you ever gone to somebody's house and like you go to get a glass of water out of the tap and they're like, sorry, our water kind of tastes kind of weird. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
drink
the
the
same.
water.
I don't
Home is where the
care.
water doesn't taste weird. I've made this my Facebook
yes.
post.
Yeah.
It's where it doesn't taste weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
I can drink-
If I'm
Fine.
thirsty, I'm gonna freaking
Right.
drink water.
Water is water, as long as you're not from Flint.
You don't have to apologize
Yes.
to me unless you are from Flint. Then you
Yeah,
have to
then you
apologize to me
apologize.
for.
I can drink well water from the tap, but I have a filter thing on my.
We have Brita. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lived in a house that the water smelled like rotten eggs because of the
That's-
sulfur, and I
yeah.
still drank it.
Wow.
That's
I have a
Because
hard
it didn't
time.
taste
doing
weird.
It
It,
didn't
just
taste,
had
it
that
just smelled-
it just had that
well,
smell.
the smell was.
And what we
ooh.
learned was we would fill up a jug of water and put it in the fridge because when it was
Yellow?
super cold, it didn't smell as bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Straight out of the tap, it smelled bad.
Advice from Juice about your
I'm trying to
stinky
understand
water.
It was
how
in
it
Willow
smells
Branch,
bad.
Indiana, which is like literally a one-road town.
Oh god.
Oh, I've been there.
Ready?
Yep.
Paper plates or real dishes?
Real dishes.
Real.
Paper plates.
Mike, so you can throw them out. Yeah.
Juice, you're gonna learn.
Flimsy, and you
And-
get
okay,
your fingers
Juice.
dirty.
As a dad, you're gonna learn to reuse things.
Oh yeah.
It's coming.
Well, the only reason I say paper plates is because Jen always yells at me for not doing the dishes.
I do
Do you
this.
have
So
a
I'm like,
dishwasher?
and
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
And she doesn't like that I don't like really ever load it or clean anything in the dishes area. But also, I just started a food meal prep company, so I don't ever have dishes because it's just in this little
Oh,
meal
there
prep
you go.
thing, and I just heat it up and eat it, so I don't have to worry about dishes, and she can't yell at me.
So, thing about that is, Alex and I have a system. She does a lot of the housework. I do a lot of the animal work. Like I will take care of the cat litter. I will take the dog out as many times as possible. I will take care of anything that has to deal with any of our hobbies. Like I manage that. She manages. She likes cleaning.
Yes. So that makes it okay.
So we have a system.
Yes.
And if I do something, she's still surprised.
Yeah. So that also makes it a plus for him.
Yes.
Last one.
Yep.
Body wash or bars of soap?
Body wash.
Body wash.
Yeah. Bars of soap, I feel like dry me out every
They
time.
do.
So
They do.
They leave
I-
a weird
I
film on my
was
skin.
a body wash person, but I used a loofah, and I heard those are just like breeding grounds for bacteria.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because
Dude,
they
I
sit
had-
in your.
I had skin rashes using a loofah.
Mhm.
Dude,
I
it
heard
was
somebody
bad.
say that you should like I think once a month or once a week
I
or
would say
something
probably once
put
a
it in
week.
the microwave.
Oh yeah, that
'Cause
kills
it
them.
would
A
like-
loofah?
Yeah, because it would kill like bacteria.
I
or
would.
something.
I would.
Weird.
I tried
Just
to
that's what
change
I
them
just
out.
heard. I don't know if it's
Or you
true.
can just like throw it away and
Yeah,
use a
and get a new one.
washcloth and throw your
Oh,
washcloth in the
they're a buck.
washer.
Yeah.
They're a
'Cause
dollar.
They are cheap.
That's a lot of
but
dollars.
The reason why I went to body wash is because you need to exfoliate the dead skin cells.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So,
So you
yeah.
get a washcloth and then you
I
put
know.
that in the
No.
washer and
Alex
then you
is old
use it
school.
again.
No.
I'm
Wow.
fine.
You can't. A washcloth does not exfoliate as well
Yes.
as a loofah.
Alex, everyone's bathing methods are working right now. Nobody smells.
I might.
I'm not reapplying bacteria to my skin.
Huh?
I'm not reapplying
So
bacteria
you
to my
use
skin.
a different wash rag every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brett,
Have you
have no
seen my
idea.
linen closet?
Yeah, you know what's
Why would
really
I
funny?
look in your linen closet?
It's really funny is
That's
Jen
weird.
always gets on me because I change out my towel like almost daily.
That's
and she,
good.
And she doesn't. She
Is she
don't
from
use
a
I
big
it.
use
family?
it.
Yeah.
I use it from
That's
a,
why you
for
don't.
a week.
I'll use a towel twice and then.
Big
No.
families don't.
I
do
use
that.
it for like a week, and
You
then I'll
guys-
look at it and be like,
week?
yeah.
You guys want to hear
Yeah.
why I changed my towel?
Do you
Sure.
fart in them?
No, because
Because you wipe your
take
bum.
it and
And
you
you floss? Yes.
yes, I do. That's why. Because
Hey,
I'm like,
you gotta
well,
keep
I
yourself
don't
dry.
ever want to touch my face with whatever that just touched on me. So this
You
is going in
start
the
from the
laundry.
top and you go
Oh,
to the
yeah.
bottom.
Alex,
for
you,
sure.
you use a towel for a week?
It's like, you know, like we take it, like if we took a shower today, it'd probably be like
women
Thursday or
don't
Friday.
have the body hair that men do.
Yeah.
So they have different
Now, if yes,
bacteria levels.
I understand why he doesn't because I have accidentally used his towel and I'll dry myself off and hair will just be on me and I'll be upset.
What? Okay, no,
I've
you don't do
never-
that anytime recent.
I've
because
never told you that. It's not like a bunch of hair.
that makes
It's-
me feel hairy.
It's not a bunch of hair.
And I'm a
but-
hairy guy.
But I look down and I'm like, well, that's not my hair.
That was a good either or. By the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Start-
very much for getting that.
Start
Brett.
plugging.
Yeah, we gotta get the plugs. Okay, so for our audio listeners, we have a post show that will be exclusively only on YouTube. So we're gonna be actually wrapping up the audio episode and doing an exclusive YouTube episode. So make sure you guys check out our YouTube for that. God, I feel like I'm drunk right now. I've had 3
Just
White
having a good
Claws.
time, guys.
Dude, I've had 3 White Claws, and I'm just like, whoa.
Ain't no laws, man.
Ain't no law.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Brett hates that.
Have you tried White Claw?
No.
He's
But-
not.
Lime is my favorite.
I'm rebelling against
Get
it
out of
now.
here with
Very
that.
favorite.
That's one of the worst. Raspberry, bro. Raspberry's top.
I don't
Tastes
know
like.
if I've had raspberry.
Well, I got like 2 more in the fridge. If you want to follow me on Twitch, I am a Twitch streamer. I do game every Tuesday and Wednesday evening and Saturday morning. My Twitch handle is twitch.tv/Mr. L, MASTERL. You will catch me streaming Rocket League, Portal 2, and The Witcher 3. But I mean, I've kind of pushed a lot of those off. I've been doing Portal 2 and Rocket League. I'm going to finish the campaign here soon. But yeah, you can catch me streaming on those on the platform of Twitch. And make sure you like and share and subscribe all on that platform as well.
Okay. I am on Twitch too. It's twitch.tv/Q_kitty, KUTE_KITTI. Right now, I just got done finishing. I'm going through the Halo campaigns for the first time. Finished Halo CE last week. This week, I am going to start Halo 2.
So you haven't started it yet?
No, I'm going to.
She hasn't streamed.
I haven't streamed.
Okay.
Yeah, she was gonna stream. Well, depending on how long our episode is, and she's not streaming tonight.
No, I'm not streaming tonight. I'll
Just
start Halo
night.
2 tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm also playing The Sims 4, and really that's it right now. It's between those two, but I'm going through the Halo campaigns.
That video of you slapping around that guy was really funny that I made of your
yes,
your thing.
Cute Kitty's Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you want to follow us on our social media apps as far as our podcast goes, we are on Facebook, which is facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast. And we are on Twitter, which is @PTOUnlimited. On those apps, you can find our fan question, which is going on right now. We were going to do it tonight, but we are pressed for time. So make sure that
Give
you
you
guys...
more time to answer.
Yeah, plenty of time to answer, and we'll reshare it next week as well, too. So make sure that you comment on that. A lesson that you have learned too late in life.
Can I give mine since I
Absolutely.
won't be back?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
So mine was it was too late in life that I realized that adults and other people my age and older really don't have anything figured out.
They don't know what's going on.
No,
They don't.
And because as a kid, I grew up thinking like, as soon as I'm adult, I'm gonna like understand how the world works and everything's gonna be
Right?
great.
Wow, that's a good answer.
And
Yes.
it's not that way at all.
No.
My
And-
parents
and-
carried a lot of confidence.
Yep.
I don't
Yes,
know
they
how they
did.
did it.
Yep.
I think that's especially being a parent. I mean, media or TV shows, they portray these people who are good parents and they know what they're doing when they probably have, in reality, you have no idea
Right.
what you're doing.
And
none
I
of
just-
us are parents yet, but
Yeah.
I think kids also are able to learn that earlier now with technology and things like that parents
Right.
are made fun of now more as being dumb.
You want to plug your podcast, Juice?
Yeah, the podcast is Juice in the Morning. It's on same social media as you guys, facebook.com/Juice in the Morning. The podcast Twitter and Instagram is the same. It's @Juice in the AM. I actually want to promote my Twitter and personal Instagram, which is Juice85OR7. And that's kind of where my comedy stuff. I kind of share everything across all platforms, but I would like you guys to follow on all. And one thing I wanted you guys to, and you guys can change it up. This is just a suggestion.
Yeah.
You can ignore it. You can use it, whatever. I think you guys should subscribe to the notifications on Twitch for you guys. Anybody listening to this, subscribe to the notifications so that when you guys go live, it goes up on your phone. Because I've followed both of you guys, I think.
Yeah.
And when you guys go live, I can see it. I don't always get to jump in and
that's
join
cool.
in, but I think everybody listening should do that. That's
Yeah.
that's a very just easy thing to turn on so that
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to just kind of guessing when they're on.
Right. Have you watched our streams at all?
I've watched the clips most of the
Yeah.
time, and even my buddy James that does Twitch, like he gets annoyed because I don't get in there and watch, but like I just got so much shit going on.
You tried.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
I
You tried
try
to
to get in.
stream.
Yeah, and I was like, not gonna do this.
No, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Talking to nobody was really frustrating.
It's very
At least with the
frustrating.
podcast, it'll say how many people listen, but like when I get it done, I could just throw it out there, and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, hopefully people will like it.
I
Right.
don't like looking at that number like while I'm streaming.
I've got one person watching, and it's actually me on my phone. So
Right.
nice.
Yes, exactly.
This is fantastic.
It's hard to be. You are literally in a less than 1 in a million. Like you are 1 in 3 million.
You're in a
Yeah.
big pool and you just hope someone clicks on you, really.
Yeah.
and like I said, like I just have so much going on. It's hard to really I try to support every single person that I've worked with and done stuff with, but it's just hard to keep up with everybody. It's like almost like a full-time job,
It
and I
is,
have a
yeah.
full-time job. So
You've done wonders as far as sharing our content. We appreciate that as much as possible. Like we've always given you shout outs every single time that you comment on any of our like fan questions or anything like that. So
I appreciate that too.
dude, we appreciate it more than you know.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, it is @Lemke619.
Brett_Wings.
Cute_kitty.
I haven't said anything to Patrick yet, but next Saturday, are you all in town?
Yes.
That's the 1st of
traveling,
February. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
You want to do
thinking
Gears?
Gears 5.
Let's do it.
Are we finally doing Gears
Well,
5?
again, I haven't. You don't have Gears 5, do you? Juice?
No,
Okay.
Well, do you have,
Sorry.
Do you have Game Pass?
I do not.
Oh.
The last game I was playing was Call of Duty Black Ops, the newest one.
Oh, we still play that.
Yeah, we still
That's
Yeah.
that was that's the game we were playing last. Then we played Apex for a little bit with a couple of guys.
Mm-hmm.
But Rocket League's super fun.
I love it.
But I'm not good enough. You probably like fly around and do cool stuff, and
I don't care.
I literally don't.
I
do
still play
anything.
with anybody. If you ever want to play, dude, I'm always on.
He'll
you know?
play with you, but it'll just be like this morning where he's like, "You were the dumbest Rocket League player."
Did you see me? Did you
Yes,
hear
I
me?
did.
I
was
accidentally
like, "Who
switch
are these
between
guys
views all
playing
the
with
time.
me?"
It's a joke, but it's fun.
For a final note, we're gonna eat beer jelly beans.
We're doing that for
Oh
your
God,
final
we're gonna
note.
do that. Oh, and you've been drinking beer.
Yeah. So
I've
I'll be able to
You won't
actually
be able
tell
to
you.
taste it.
I'll tell you
We've
which
gone
one's
through
different.
3 juice. You and I both.
Oh God, Brett.
So I just smelled these.
What are your
and
ounces on your cans? Because I think I'm drinking less than you.
These are definitely 16 ounce.
These are 12.
So these are
God, I'm
Just a
a
few
lightweight.
ounces.
these
I'm a
are
lightweight.
Jelly Belly beer, draft beer jelly beans, and Jelly Belly's known for some crazy flavors. This literally smelled like shit when I opened it.
Great.
Oh no,
Maybe are they all the same flavor?
they're
Yes.
beer.
Oh, okay.
No,
They're-
there's
oh,
like
they're
a
just-
couple IPA ones in there. and,
That would be
thinking that's
cool
what
if they
it
did that
was.
though, right?
Yeah,
If they did like a draft IPA or
God,
did like
I'm
It
a
actually kind of smells
scared.
like morning breath.
an ale.
I'm scared.
You got to take 2.
What?
2.
Why 2? I'm gonna throw up.
No, you're good.
I might need that Gatorade.
I got 2.
You know what? It's beer. It's fine.
You ready?
So you guys go ahead. I'll keep talking while you guys try it, and I'll try it after you guys. I'm normally the one that chats. You guys are making no face.
That's not bad, actually. You know what I'm getting a hint of? I don't know
What are you
how,
getting?
but
I'm gonna try it.
black licorice.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like black licorice, which I hate.
No, this tastes like beer.
Those aren't bad.
They taste like
they
beer.
taste way better than they smell. Have them smell the bag.
Smell this. It can't be that bad. It just sounded
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it
I
can't.
told you, it's pretty
It
gross.
does not taste like that.
It smells like Play-Doh.
No,
Like,
it
it
does. It
smells-
smells like shit.
It
like
does
shit.
smell really bad.
Smells like
Smell it
shit.
again.
I don't know. I don't
get a whiff of that at all.
Yeah,
I
you're
think the
weird.
beer overdid it.
I don't think I have a great palate either way, so
As a beer aftertaste.
I don't think it tastes like
It's-
beer that much to me.
I
get beer.
tasted the beer, but
I get the black
Would I-
licorice of what you're saying.
would I,
I don't.
grab those to eat for because I wanted some candy? No, but
Fuck
they're
no.
not. They're not cut grass like I know Jelly Belly's done.
Ugh.
Paige is here.
She just got here.
Okay.
We're out.
Okay, so for our audio listeners, we are heading out of here. We're going to go ahead and go to a BRB screen as far as starting up our pre-show. We're going to do the Toe of
Post-show.
Satan post-show.
Why don't you tell everybody for YouTube purposes?
What?
Like you're gonna cut out a.
Oh, yeah, we're just going to do a BRB screen, so you guys don't need to go
And
anywhere.
I'm cutting the audio off. Yeah.
Yes, yep,
Yep.
yep. So it's just audio. You okay, Juice?
Yeah, I just got pee.
Oh,
Don't you see it?
All right.
we're going to do pee breaks in between. So,
Yeah.
just give us a couple of minutes on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and do that. Thank you guys very much for joining us in our audio episode. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for sharing, and subscribing as well. We do appreciate it. We will catch you guys next week as far as our audio listeners go. YouTube guys, stay right here.
Bye.
Bye guys. All right.
Just giving you a heads up.
All right, guys. So welcome to the post show. 1 second here. I have to actually redo this intro. All right, guys. Welcome to the post show.
Okay, guys.
Hey, guys. Nothing ever happened there. Welcome to the post show. I am recording this as well, so we can release this on its own as well, like onto our social media and everything. So thank you guys very much. What did you say?
Oh, it's not as big as I thought it was going to be.
That's what she said.
So Paige is Alex's sister. Paige is on the podcast right here. She's just gonna do a quick intro, and then Brett's gonna get on.
All right.
It's not that big.
It's gonna suck.
So, Toe of Satan. I actually looked this up on Amazon probably about a year ago. And I thought this would just be something really exciting for you
please
guys
don't
to
stand.
try out on the podcast.
A bad thing that
So,
it's wrapped like this.
It's a very, very simple challenge. You have to keep this sucker in your mouth for a solid 5 minutes. The only rules are you cannot spit and you can't take it out.
Oh my god.
Simple
Ooh.
as that.
That is all what she said. I need to find my mouse here.
So we do have some ice cream
Go get
and milk.
scissors.
No,
So we don't
Scissors?
touch these with our hands.
That's entirely up to you guys.
Do you have a knife, Brett?
Yeah, you got your.
Yeah, I had warned them that it might be difficult to open this thing up.
It's actually really difficult. There you go.
So,
You said not spit, but I'm expecting
no drooling.
Oh, I'm drooling. I've already made that a rule. I'm
But I got
probably
paper
What?
towels just in case.
I need a
too.
bib.
Paige can go grab the milk after she's
want
done
milk?
with the intro here.
We're gonna get
Okay, so the scale goes from coward, that's 0 minutes. 1 minute is wimp. 2 minutes is show off. 3 minutes is loss of feeling. 4 minutes is really, and 5 minutes is this is 911. What's your emergency? So
I don't know, man. I'm usually pretty confident about this stuff, but yeah, but it's 5 minutes is a long time.
Yes.
And
It's going
you
to feel
know.
like forever.
no, sorry. I should have gotten that one on though. I can get it to work. I can add it right now. If you want me to.
You want to pass that
Oh,
back
yes,
to
of
Brett?
course. There you are.
All right.
There you go,
So
Brett.
Okay.
these suckers are gonna go in our mouths for 5 minutes, huh?
Yep, you can move them around all you
Oh,
like.
it just
All
smells
right.
like a like
It's going to smell like
Big
cinnamon.
Red.
Oh,
Well,
don't
imagine
fall on
it
the
being
ground.
like 30 Big Reds in your mouth all at once.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
It's
so
going to be hard.
Are we gonna? So you're gonna start it as we insert.
This is insane.
So
into
I'll do
the
a
mouth.
countdown for you guys, and then
Um,
we'll just start the clock.
We need bibs.
Why do you need a bib? You have
Yeah,
paper
because-
towel.
Paper towel.
Apparently, Alex is already knowing that
I'm
she's going
I've
to
seen videos.
So
People
I've got my
like
paper
drool.
towels on standby.
I'd much rather have a bib.
So
I
I
think
You
it'll
cut.
want
be
one of
okay.
these?
Alex and Juice are
There you
alone on
go.
this.
I think
this
I'm gonna
is
be all right. I
perfect.
think this is gonna be just fine.
Look.
Nice.
All right, so whenever you guys are ready, we'll get you guys all prepped.
I don't want to go early. That's also what
Wow,
he
that
said.
much?
I'm preparing myself. Okay.
Juice, need a couple of these just in case.
I'm gonna keep them over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
does it smell bad?
Hey, Josh, can
Doesn't
you
really, yeah, it
Smells
smells
like
like a
Big
big red.
Cinnamon. Okay.
I
Josh,
for
did it
sure
say on the
think-
box 9 million skulls?
Yes, 9
Yeah.
million Scoville.
9 million.
The wing challenge I did with Johnny was 1 million, and that was terrible. So I don't know what this is gonna be.
So I'm gonna read off some facts here. Hopefully I can.
Yes,
get
along
to
the way.
some-
We're
So-
not gonna be talking, so I'm
Nope.
moving my mic after this.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Okay.
are we ready?
I'm ready.
Alex?
I'm actually kind of shaky, really.
I know. Me
Okay.
too.
Here we go.
I think you got ice cream's good enough.
All
You
right,
guys
do a
help me build.
countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh wow. Okay, so they're going. So did you know that only mammals are sensitive to hot things? Like they're only sensitive to capsaicin, which is the heat. No,
I mean,
but I'm
they
just
can
telling
if
them
they
heat
want to.
things. Yeah. And all bell peppers are the same plant, so they're just harvested at different times. These guys are really holding it down. I feel like these facts aren't even like interesting. It's just your guys' reactions even better. So is it really hot? Yeah. Alex, you're the heat person. You've done some hot stuff.
I'm sure there will be some sweat. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, this is great. So I can't imagine. Okay, how many minutes are they down, Brett?
They're at 45 seconds.
You're at 45 seconds. So
Now you can, stop at any point before
no, they
5
can't.
minutes. You
No,
can
no,
if you
no,
want
no.
to.
Don't give them that option. Are you messaging your social media? Oh my God.
This kind of stuff can cause stomach ulcers.
It can. It can.
Oh, you're drooling.
She's drooling all over herself.
Big, Alex. It's not even all the way in your mouth.
Okay.
I don't know. She's doing a selfie. Don't tell me time. He doesn't want to know the time.
No.
No. Did you have chili peppers?
We can let you know when you're done.
Hey, you know what? This is going to make you guys feel better. Chili peppers, they have a lot of vitamin C. That'll make you feel real good. Yeah, real cool stuff, right? This is some good stuff right here. Drool is bad, so you're really drooling. So it's really tough. Did you know birds are immune to spice and hot peppers? So birds can actually eat these popsicles without an issue. Wow, you can't sit still. It's a drool. Oh, wow.
I just want you guys to like move it from side to side, you know, just see if you're.
Did you know peppers are a fruit?
Oh, she's trying.
She is drooling all over herself.
I'm guessing it's you don't want to swallow it.
No. So it's an American fruit with a Greek name, cayenne.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
I'm trying not to touch the sucker within my mouth. Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So your tongue's real low.
Oh, you don't want to put it on your.
Alex, you gotta keep it in. She is drooling. You gotta double up on your napkin. You need more.
Oh, Alex.
This is a fantastic post show. So the heat's real. Here. It's legit. Can you say the time in? We need to know. Like people need to know. You have to say it. You have to say it. Swallowing is terrible. That's what she said. Juice, you need another
We
napkin?
are more than halfway.
Okay. How many minutes?
I can't say.
Yes, you can.
All right, so we're at 3.
Oh, you got 3 minutes. Wow, you guys have 2 more. You guys are over halfway. Oh, Alex is done.
I swallowed it.
Do you need to leave?
I need milk.
You need ice cream. Ice cream.
I
Ice
need
cream.
something.
Ice cream. Alex is
My whole
done.
mouth is swollen. It's all swollen.
You want to go sing some karaoke?
My lip is sticking out. I can't feel.
So what did Alex get to, Brett?
I know I'm.
About 320.
That doesn't help.
Oh my God.
Do you want milk? Okay, I'll go get some milk.
Juice, you can do this, bro. We are rooting for you.
What makes me worse?
It's making it worse? Just hold it in your mouth. It's dairy.
It's right here. I don't care where
Oh, no.
the mouth is going. Give me it.
What is he at?
45 seconds.
He has 45 seconds left.
Come on.
315. Juice, you can do this. 9 million Scoville. You are sweating, bro. You are
believe you're
sweating.
It's.
So Alex, can you tell us what it's like?
I want to talk. It's in the back of my throat.
So bad.
It's in my throat.
So bad? At least you know what, you beat Alex.
I'm crying now.
Her mascara.
You
is
can talk
running.
you can talk, Alex. How much more time?
20.
19.
20 seconds.
You need another spoonful? I thought it didn't help.
10 seconds.
She's grabbing it by.
Come on.
5, 4.
I can't even see what that says.
1 and done.
Hold out.
Oh!
Take the milk.
Juice is
It's so bad.
coughing so hard.
Look at Alex.
It's in my throat. It's in my throat.
So, 5 minutes.
Okay.
He's a good
One
champ.
more description.
They're not talking.
No,
That's
it's,
torture.
it's very bad.
I'm gonna
It
taste
is.
it.
It's. You're.
All right.
Josh is good. No, Josh.
I'm gonna
It's
taste
getting
Alex's.
worse after.
No, Josh.
It keeps going up. It's not.
Woo!
It's not.
Woo!
Do you want more milk juice?
I tried it.
It's not.
One more milk.
It's not.
No, beer's where it's at.
Ooh, I put my tongue on it for less
Dude,
than a
I'm
second.
crying now.
Do you want
I don't know how you did another 2 minutes. I was like gonna throw up because I swallowed a big gulp.
Do you want some bread?
Do you want
What?
bread? Bread?
I feel it like going down my bad.
It wasn't even that bad with it in the mouth, but now it's
No,
worse.
I told you.
No, it got bad.
It's getting worse.
Guys, I put that on my tongue for less than a second, and I'm oh.
Oh.
That's not good.
All right, Brett, you want to get back on here?
Come on, Brett.
Yeah, good thing we did this at the end of the podcast because I would not be able to talk.
Did you guys know that
No, that
cayenne
would
is
be-
effective relief for aches and pains?
Man, that...
What about? Never mind.
What?
Burning asshole disease.
Oh, you guys are gonna burn a little bit if you swallowed it. Alex is gonna burn.
Oh, I swallowed it.
I swallowed it.
Quite
You're
a
about to
bit.
spit out on you.
Trying really hard.
I had to.
I even was drooling to try to not swallow, but it was like an all. Is it?
Oh,
It's not.
fudge.
It keeps going. I can't talk because it keeps getting hot.
It's just like it's worse when the air is hitting.
Uh-huh. It's.
Brett, the heat
think-
is
I
bad.
think you should both just hold a mouthful of milk
I
for.
tried. It doesn't work.
Well, it's not gonna work in 10 seconds.
No, it doesn't work. It's.
Yeah.
I kept
Yeah,
it.
can I get a little bit more milk? Holy
Dude, the ice cream is
shnikes.
starting to help if you want ice cream.
You want some sherbet?
Shnikes,
You want to try
dude.
something? It's afterwards. The whole it was more the swallow thing that made me spit it out because I was like, I'm not gonna do it, and then I gagged because it went
Yeah.
and came back up.
So hot peppers.
About it, it's
No.
grossing out.
So hot peppers, they provide endurance for politicians.
Really?
It's
you
under
going.
my tongue.
Wait,
How
why
is it under my tongue? I didn't
politicians?
even put it on my tongue.
Why does it have to be politicians?
It says right here. That's all it says. Chilies provide endurance for politicians.
I don't get it.
I heard chilies are like hot peppers are also good for your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it on my teeth. It's like my
They're also
teeth-
good for immunity support.
immunity support. Well, we're not.
That's
gonna
why I never get sick.
That's why we're not.
So
I
gonna
eat
juice-
spicy stuff all the time.
We got a comment on YouTube. It says beer and milk together. Wow, great combination. All right, guys. So we're gonna. That was
Like
our.
I'm swallowing it and then like it coming back
It's
up
like when
feels
you-
like it's getting in my sinuses.
Yes.
So Juice, you went 5 minutes. Alex, you went how long?
3.
About 320.
That had to have been the grossest thing on camera ever of me pulling that out and then like drooling onto the plate.
Dude.
So Alex, do you have
in my
do you
mouth.
have loss
I
of
just-
feeling?
Yeah, right here. I cannot feel it here.
Are you guys okay?
No,
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing well.
So you know the when we go to Wings Etc. and we do the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Really?
Nope, that is nothing. My mouth I keep getting so
This
much.
is like when you burn your mouth and then you can't taste anything for a couple of days.
Except you keep drooling.
Yeah.
Like I keep filling up with saliva.
Although
When
actually,
you were saying like with the
the
text
milk
messaging,
idea was a good idea.
the what?
Milk.
Holding the milk in your mouth.
It didn't really do anything for me.
Because I think I'm starting to already like kind of come out of the mouth part, but now it's on my lips,
So it said that
burning my lips.
that
out.
heat can do a sexual like
It's supposed to be
endorphin feeling.
Do
Do you feel it? Do you feel?
Do you feel
Do
horny?
you feel it?
I don't have a female boner. I'm sorry, I don't. It's the last thing I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking about ice cream all inside my mouth. God,
No, it definitely does have that like
Do you need some chocolate
clarity
juice?
of
Do you need some chocolate ice
No.
cream
thinking.
or some
So, like,
sherbet?
if you were intoxicated and you took that, kind of probably would wake you up.
Are you woke?
Oh yeah,
oh yeah. If you were not awake, you're awake now.
He's a member of woke culture.
and it's like I'm getting better now. It's on my lips,
Right.
which is way worse.
Better on your lips. Yeah.
What was your technique? I want to know
To
if I
not try to touch anything, so I was like,
I was trying to do that too. But the thing is, so like I have
when
a-
you start to drool though, your tongue has to go up.
That's
there.
what I mean when you drew. I'm trying to think about it when it was in my mouth. But so I had like this part when it was in my mouth, like my bottom. Here is my bottom lip right here. It was like hugging the bottom of this. So like the whole part of my bottom lip is like
You touched it with the yeah.
I
why'd you do
can't
that?
feel it.
I put it in deep. So
I tried to push it all the way in my mouth, but I felt like the fire hit my throat. And I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna be able to.
but as your mouth fills up with that saliva, that's what makes it
that's
bad
what makes
because
it
you're starting to
bad.
like you're starting to like swallow it. And I can see people that may not be like into like spicy foods or things like that as you swallow that and it could like you said could come back up I think that is the reason why people can't make 5 minutes.
That's why I couldn't do it. I think I probably could have.
I didn't ever have anything come back up. If that would have happened, I probably would have taken.
Well, because when I was trying to swallow, I was trying to do this. I was trying to tilt my head this way and then do like a little it's more not to swallow, but it's an automatic reflex. Like your tongue wants to swallow.
It's like when you're at the dentist.
Yes, and until you don't swallow, and you're like.
So did you guys lose your tongue feeling? Like it sounds like you guys are numb.
Like I said, the mouth is starting to get better.
This helps.
This helps.
Dumb and Dumber.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on our post show. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having me, by the way, guys.
Yeah, we didn't say that in our audio. God, I feel terrible.
I was going to, but
I went to the
bathroom.
Yeah, I had to pee so bad. I got to pee again. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys very much for joining us on our post show. We're going to catch you guys next week.
Feeling better.
Or a week and a half.
It's actually going down now.
We'll be back in February. Or no. Is it February? Yeah, February.
Yep.
We'll be back in February. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.